When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. We have our first Cinderella entry on day one of the men's NCAA tournament. High Point, the 12 seed in the West, has just knocked out the 5 seed Wisconsin 83-82. Meantime, Siena having its way with the top overall seed Duke so far. Gavin Doty helping lead the way with 16 points. Saints leading the Blue Devils 43-32 at the half. Vandy's up 30-28 on McNeese State in the first half. Nebraska picked up its first ever NCAA tournament win, defeated Troy 74-67. TCU got the go-ahead layup from Xavier Edmonds less than 5 seconds to go, edged Ohio State 66-64.
It's real crazy. I don't know. Again, I still haven't just processed all of it. It didn't really hit me until I went to the locker room, kind of checked my phone. Everybody was hitting me and stuff like that. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I know we got a big one tomorrow, so we're just going to prep for that Saturday.
Horned Frogs have Duke or Siena next. Harry's Louisville Cardinals beat South Florida 83-79. With the NBA playoffs looming, star Cade Cunningham diagnosed with a collapsed lung. He is out an extended period of time for East leading Detroit.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Friday, I'll tell you why the Cleveland Browns have given us a glimpse into their future plans when it comes to their QB position. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Shut up, kid. Cassie Spazelli.
Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Muso.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. LSU OU series gets underway tonight at the Box. Kendall Rogers in 15 minutes. Hour 3, we'll have our buddy Eddie Rasadovich. I was going Eddie Rado there. Give us the OU perspective. Ross Jackson next hour. Grab!
Yeah, you're right!
Returns to... Dude! The Pelicans decided to be good? Have you noticed this? They won 4 of 5? And the one they lost against Houston, they blew it.
They did.
Graf!
Yeah, you're right!
Is James Borrego the guy? Is he?
Hire him.
Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Before we go any further, breaking news, before we go any further into the show today. Have some excellent news to share. I've been handed a horrific and terrifying story. Amazing news, the AFR family has grown. Paul and Sam O'Neill are proud parents ×2. How about it? Let's go. So they have baby Opal, Opal is 3? Opal's 3. And Sam yesterday gave birth to baby boy O'Neill, Matthew George Moscona O'Neill.
I don't think that's his name. No.
Yep, that's what they're going to call him.
Oh, no.
That's what I heard. Cassie, isn't that what you heard? They're going with Matthew George Moscona O'Neal.
I don't know. That's a lot of names.
I mean, Paul is Paul O'Neal the third.
True.
I mean, so you're going to go with the fourth, Matthew George Moscona O'Neal. 4 names for the fourth. Instead of naming him Paul the fourth.
But then he wouldn't be the fourth because it's not Paul.
Instead of naming him Paul the fourth.
All right.
Did you not listen to the words I just said out of my mouth?
I didn't hear that part, I'm going to be honest.
Cassie, you see like every day you see what I mean?
This is every day?
Every day.
It's not every day.
Thank you.
It's not every day.
I mean, he takes this beautiful thing about baby O'Neal coming into the world and then makes it all about him. That's what he does.
I didn't do that.
That's what he does. He's made this whole thing about him.
No, that's not true at all. I didn't suggest they name the child after me. That's what you did.
And then you just took that moment and said, you know what, I'm going to derail the whole thing because it's always about you, Muse. Always about you. Matthew George Moscona O'Neal the fourth.
The fourth? That would be the fourth. Luda.
We'll see. I don't know when Paul's going to be back. In the meantime, Cassie and Taylor are going to pinch hit. But we're fired up for Paul and for Sam. Mostly for Sam, because while we love Paul, Sam had to do all the work. She had to carry that baby for 9 months and then actually give the birth. And so for having given the birth, we congratulate her and salute her. But mom and baby are doing awesome. They in all seriousness, they have not yet decided on a name for baby boy O'Neal yet. So I don't know if they're going to go Paul the fourth. They haven't made that decision. What I understand is that Matthew George Moscona O'Neal is on the table.
I don't think it is, though.
They're considering it.
Okay.
It's in the hopper. It could be. So we'll see. All right. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We're going to get to Kendall Rogers in 10 minutes. The New Orleans Saints are going to host Mansoor Delane on a top 30 visit, and I love this. So Kellen Moore said last week when he had his media availability after the first wave of free agency, when he was asked, do you draft need or best available? And I'm paraphrasing, but ultimately it's the thing that everybody wants to do. You want to have enough good players to where you can draft just the best available. But that's just not always the case. I mean, sometimes you go into the draft needing to use your first pick to address a need, a must. I've given you several examples. I mean, the best one is probably Eric McCoy. Max Unger abruptly retired. The Saints needed a center. They drafted Eric McCoy. Sometimes it goes like that. The Saints have roster holes that they have to fill, but I don't know necessarily that it's one of those things that they're looking at 8 saying it's got to be this position. I think we can definitively look and say what it won't be. Like, they're not going to take a quarterback at 8. Tyler Shuck is their guy going into this year. We'll see as the sample size grows if that's the right decision long-term. We all hope it is. They're not drafting an offensive tackle. They've done that the last 2 years. They've got their bookend tackles. They're not drafting an interior offensive lineman. You've got your 3 starters there, including Edwards, who you just paid $61 million to in free agency. So you can eliminate. You're not drafting Jeremiah Love. You just paid Travis Etienne $51 million. He's your guy. By the way, you notice how that's rolling off the tongue? I mean, we're really
you're
getting
in a groove. Yeah, you're in a groove. It didn't take long. It didn't take long.
No, we're there. I think we're there. But I think the point is they're going to be looking at the combo of best available at position of need. Unless if there's a situation where there's a player on the board that they have like as the number 2 overall player in the draft, they're sitting there at 8, and it's great. It's just such great value they can't pass. I don't know that they're going to look that way. They could certainly use the 8th pick on a receiver if Carnell Tate from Ohio State is there. They could certainly use that 8th pick on an edge rusher, and there's no shortage of them. Maybe it's Bain from Miami, or there's a lot of guys that would fit that would check that box. And the Saints, especially if they don't re-sign Cam Jordan, are going to be looking for youth and an opportunity there at edge rusher, but really at every level of the defense. You went and signed Caden Ellis, but is he your heir apparent to DeMario Davis, or are you still looking for an off-the-ball linebacker? Maybe it's Sonny Styles who could play Will or Sam. You understand the point. Like, you need help everywhere. But I always look, if you're going to pick in the top 10 at positional value. The reason that I've been so adamantly opposed to Jeremiah Love at 8 is not Jeremiah Love. It's you don't take a running back at 8. You can get great value at running back later in the draft. The guy who was just the MVP of the Super Bowl is Kenneth Walker, second-round pick. You're not going to have an opportunity ever to draft Derek Stingley outside of the top 10. You're just not going to be able to draft Pat Surtain in round 2 or 3. It's just like, if you want a true elite number 1 lockdown corner who could potentially be the best cornerback in the NFL, you're not getting that guy outside of the top 10, generally speaking. So I look at Mansoor Delane and I go, my goodness, this may be a situation where if the Saints value Delane like that, that could just make too much sense at number 8. And the other thing is, we just rattled off several of the positions that the Saints are not going to be drafting. Like, they're not drafting a quarterback. Great. Fernando Mendoza is going number 1. So now you got 7 more players, 7 more picks, or 6 more till they get to you. So you hope those offensive linemen come off the board. You hope Jeremiah Love comes off the board, maybe 4 to Tennessee. So every time a player is taken at a position you're not drafting, it drops a player at a position you might draft to you. So it might be a situation where the Saints are sitting there at 8 and Mansoor Delane is there, and it makes so much sense. I mean, we've gone through this before, but Delane was a unanimous All-American. He should have won the Thorpe. He was the best defensive back in college football. Caleb Downs won it because he was a more famous player. He's been very good for 3 years, and he won a Lifetime Achievement Award, not because he was a great defensive back in 2025. He has been a great player for 3 years. But Mansoor Delane, this year, his overall defensive grade was a 90.5. That led LSU. His coverage grade was a 90.7. The only thing that dinged Mansoor Delane was his pass rush grade as a 66.4. I got news for you, Coach. Mansoor Delane ain't rushing the passer. He's locking down and your best receiver. Mansoor Delane on the season, gave up 14 catches. In 11 games, remember, he didn't play the bowl game and he missed the Western Kentucky game. In 11 games, Mansoor Delane gave up 14 catches and did not allow a touchdown. He was awesome. And when you look at what the Saints have at cornerback presently, you let Alontae Taylor walk, but as we look at, like, if you go to PFF, and again, PFF is just, we always say, it's a metric. It's not the metric. It's something to consider. But if you go look at every cornerback in the NFL and list them by their coverage grade on PFF, Kool-Aid McKinstry was number 43 in the NFL. 43. Now, there's some guys on this list who played a limited number of games. Like the highest ranked cornerback in the NFL was Elijah Huzzie from Houston, played in 1 game. Okay, so like you throw him out. So if you're looking at qualifying players, that would still put Kool-Aid as like a bottom tier starter, okay? After Kool-Aid, and you start looking at the other cornerbacks from New Orleans where they rank on this list from a season ago, Alontae Taylor was 58. Again, Alontae Taylor just got paid like a top 10 cornerback in the NFL. He was 58th in coverage grade this past season. All that to say, and Quincy Riley was not, I was looking at a second ago. Quincy Riley was 90, doggone it, I had it. There it is, 97th. So when you hear me say I think Kool-Aid and Quincy Riley are good players, neither of them is an elite, true number 1 lockdown cornerback. This is sort of evidence of that. I think Kool-Aid could be a very good number 2. And I think Quincy Riley could be a really good nickel, your 5th defensive back. But if I'm looking at who's going to go man up on Jamar Chase on the outside, or JSN, or Puka Nacua, or Justin Jefferson, pick your elite level number 1 receiver, whoever you think it is. If Kool-Aid has to go get up in Jamar Chase's jock for 65 defensive snaps, how do you think that's going to go? I don't think that's going to go great. Mansoor Delane, I think that could go good for my team. Think young Marshawn Lattimore when you had a true number 1 lockdown corner. That's what you're looking for. Not a starter, a true number 1 lockdown corner that you can get in the top 10. And maybe that's Mansoor Delane. If they pull the trigger on him at 8, I would be ecstatic. We'll see what they do as we inch closer here to the NFL draft. The Saints will be hosting Mansoor Delane on a top 30 visit. Okay, Show Up in Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the Tigers. LSU, Oklahoma tonight, game 1 of the series. You're going to be at the box. Make sure you grab plenty of delicious ice-cold Bud Light. Watching at your house, stop by the store, grab a bunch of Bud Light. Maybe you're going to watch it at your favorite bar, restaurant. Order delicious ice-cold Bud Light. Ask for it by name. The official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of AFR. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. Okay, we're going to knock out a break. Thursday shows presented by Decision Critical. When we come back, Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, preview LSU, Oklahoma, the rest of the weekend ahead in the Southeastern Conference. Don't you move.
AFR.
REV. Let's rev. Let's rev.com. Let's rev.com. Let's rev.com. Backed by 90 years of local experience and all fiber network, lightning fast internet speeds. Could 70,000 Louisiana homeowners and business owners really be wrong? I don't think so. We have Rev at Casa de Scone. We're Rev customers at Parish Construction and Roofing. We're Rev customers here at Guarantee Media. If you want lightning fast internet speeds, a great local network with a local call center, if you need customer service, it's 100% local service and support. You're not routed to an overseas call center. They're answering your call right here in South Louisiana, and they've been servicing South Louisiana since 1935. You'll have a dedicated account representative for business customers as well. So if it's for your home or your business, let's Rev. R-E-V. Let's rev.com. Let's rev.com. Let's rev.com.
Everything you need for a stunning garden is at the Plant Barn in Baton Rouge. From trees and shrubs to plants and pottery, the Plant Barn has it all at great prices. Visit us today on Valley Street, right off Perkins Road in South Downs.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Another roof gone too soon. Looks like neglect. There's no doubt about it. This is a case of poor installation. At Pelican Roofing, we don't guess. We investigate to find the real cause of your roof's problems. Call Pelican Roofing for your free roof investigation today. Case closed.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
getting ready the way that we do. We have a good plan for today, very specific to what we need to do to be successful this weekend against a really good team. Micro focus right now, and that's simplifying is a big part of coaching well, developing players well, and so we'll prepare to get the players to do what we need them to do this weekend, and that's really the only thing I'm even thinking about.
Jay Johnson getting set to host Oklahoma this weekend at the Box. Game 1 tonight. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. Our buddy Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, good enough to hang out as he does every Thursday, preview the weekend ahead in the Southeastern Conference. Yo, man, how are you?
I am doing well. It's kind of a strange week with LSU not being in our top 25. So, yeah, it's definitely a little different.
Justified. So it's interesting, Kendall. The convo here after the Vanderbilt series is, look, they were a pitch away from winning the series. But there's also real flaws that are very evident. So find yourself somewhere on that sliding scale. Where are you?
Yeah, I would say my panic meter, I'm probably like a 4 now. I think last week when we talked, I was at a 2. I think I'm probably at about a 4. I mean, here's the thing. I have no doubt this team can kind of turn things around. But, I mean, we're, 3 straight weeks now where we've kind of seen the same team to some degree. And so, I mean, at some point you are what you are. But I do think when you look at this team overall, I like the way they battled back at the series finale. I think people are 100% right. They were a pitch away from taking the series. But, again, the thing that has hampered this team over the last few weeks, once again, kind of reared its ugly head a little bit over the weekend in the sense that, when the offense was kind of dialed in, the pitching staff struggled and vice versa. I mean, you look over the weekend and the 2 losses, I mean, LSU walked 21 guys. And I don't care if you're playing Sacramento State, Vanderbilt, or Nicholls State. Like, if you walk 21 guys in 2 games, the chances of you losing one of those games or 2 of those games is really good. So I just think for LSU, it's like they have yet to play, I would say, a completely clean weekend. Because even if you go back to Jack, I mean, you could argue that the pitching that weekend wasn't the best. So I think their best days are ahead. Or, I mean, they could just continue to be this team all year long. I mean, that's a possibility, too. I think it would surprise me, but it's a possibility at this point.
Kendall, LSU hosts Oklahoma, who won 2 out of 3 at home last week against A&M. Give me your takeaway from the Sooners' opening weekend series win against A&M.
Yeah, I like their club a lot. I saw them opening weekend. I watched a couple of their games last weekend against A&M. And the thing about OU is I would not call them like an overwhelming offensive team, but I would call them a very opportunistic offensive team. If you walk 21 guys in 2 games, Oklahoma will easily put up double-digit runs in those games. If you look at their lineup, Camden Johnson, their third baseman, a transfer from Wichita State, is off to a really nice start. Jackson Willits, everybody kind of knows him at the middle. I'd say the guy for me this weekend to keep an eye on is Brendan Brock. He was a junior college transfer behind the plate. Really unique player. He's an elite defensive catcher, but he's also a base stealing threat. He's an extremely athletic catcher. He's got power. He's the guy I kind of circled this weekend. I think for me on the mound with OU, top of mind would be L.J. McCurious, and, oh, by the way, our guy Cam Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Cam had been really, really good through 4 starts. Last week against A&M, walked 7 guys. You guys have seen that story before. So I'll be very curious to see what Cam does against the Tigers this weekend. Does he go back to who he was those first 4 starts, or was kind of last weekend the start of resorting back to what he used to be? And then McCurious was just okay against A&M, but again, he's a guy to 96, 97 with a wicked slider when he is on. So keep an eye on him.
Yeah, what do you expect from Cam tonight against this LSU lineup?
Well, A&M was patient against him. A&M made him throw strikes. When I watched him last week, he really struggled with that slider to his arm side. And, again, if I remember right, I mean, he was probably a few inches off the plate with that. So unless the umpire tonight has a massive zone, he's going to have to throw the ball over the plate. And, of course, if you're LSU, you're like, hey, you're going to throw it over the plate. You're almost trying too hard to throw down the middle. We'll gladly take that. So I'm very curious to see what the zone is like. I think that will dictate how he does.
I got one more on LSU. As they've kind of searched for offense, is there anything that you may like if you were advising Jay, I don't know that he's coming to call you to ask for advice, but if you were
Probably
advising him,
not.
like what I know, but like what's something you might like to see them try or do?
Man, that's a great question. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you try differently. I mean, the thing is, the guys that he's starting are the guys that should probably be starting. So it's more stuff like, hey, can we just get a little consistency? Just kind of going back to look at the weekend. I mean, I was looking back at the weekend before I got on this call, and it's like, Trent Carraway, no hit. Zach York, 1 for 9 for the weekend. Seth Dardar, 1 for 8 for the weekend. I mean, that's 2 powerful components in that lineup who did absolutely nothing for the weekend. But, who are you going to throw in there? Are you going to throw in Levine? I mean, I don't know what you do.
Cerna?
Maybe. I mean, he did have that big home run in the midweek a couple weeks ago. You got to trust something. Yeah. I mean, at least he has shown that he has kind of a flair for the dramatic and kind of that clutch gene a little bit.
Yeah. I'm curious because with Cerna, because you have this gigantic ceiling, right? And it's like, do you just let him see how he could approach it? But
one thing I'm kind of wondering, I mean, I don't even know if they could tinker this way, but I mean, can Cerna, I mean, I know this sounds kind of crazy, but like, can Cerna shift over to first base somehow and put York on the bench and let him think about it for a weekend?
I don't
know. I'm trying to think of anything.
Some combination of catcher first DH. I think you're getting to the point where if you just said it right, when you're counting on a guy like Dardar or Carraway and they're not performing, and especially for a guy like Dardar who defensively is kind of a liability, Kendall, like why are you in there? Like maybe it's one of those things where you find a spot for another guy who's going to give you at least something positive. It'll be interesting. I don't know what Jay's going to do. It'll be interesting to see. Hey,
I mean, even Zach York. I mean, if Zach York is not raking, like, what is his value?
Yeah.
I would argue there's not much value, if any value there, if he's not raking.
Yeah. He's on Twitter at Kendall Rogers. Give him a follow, d1baseball.com. You got a top 5 series this weekend with Texas and Auburn. I tell you what, Auburn last weekend. And then in the midweek, winning the game against Georgia Tech the way they did, kind of put a lot of people on alert. Give me a sense of what you might think here with Texas and Auburn and what feels like a big prove-it spot for Auburn.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the thing about Auburn last weekend is I thought their pitching stepped up against Missouri. Jake Marciano, a Virginia Tech transfer, kind of one of the cool stories of college baseball this year on the mound. I mean, he's a guy that I think he made 14 starts for the Hokies last year, had an ERA well over 6. With Butch Thompson so far this year has been almost unhittable. He's been awesome at the front of the rotation. The thing that's interesting about Auburn is, the guys like the Chris Rimberts and, Chase Fralick's been good. He hasn't been incredible. Like, they have guys who can really hit, who haven't quite gotten red hot yet. So that's something I keep an eye on this weekend. I think for Texas, Casey Borda will be a name to watch this weekend. He's a guy that I think when I saw them in Houston, I want to say he was hitting like 215 or something. I mean, he's now up to almost 340 with elite power production. Aiden Robbins certainly off to a nice start offensively. And, he's a guy that from a draft perspective, is surging up the draft boards right now. So I expect a lot of offense in that series. And frankly, I think that's kind of the theme in this league this weekend. I think, like Georgia and A&M, I'll be at one of those games there on Saturday, and I think it's supposed to be 92 degrees with a south wind at like 15 to 20. And those two teams it's like bombs away with those two teams. So, like, I'm pretty excited about that series. Like, I was telling somebody the other day, like, if you're in a hurry, that is not the series for you. That one is going to last forever.
So, but I was going to ask you about Georgia A&M next because the hardest thing to reconcile with Georgia is that they're a different team away from Foley Field. It's, 310 down the right field line. The power alleys are like 365. So it's super hitter friendly. It's bombs away, but they leave that park and they're just a different offense because they're not playing in a bitty ballpark anymore. So what do you make of Georgia, Texas A&M this week? Like, do you think that offense will travel for Georgia?
I think it will, just because the elements are in their favor. I mean, Daniel Jackson, I think he has 14 home runs already this year. Caden Sorrell for A&M has 11 home runs. So I do think it travels this weekend because the elements suggest it. But, I mean, there have been plenty of theories on why Georgia's splits home and away are so different. A lot of them are rather interesting theories.
I got one.
Yeah,
They play in a
go
bitty
ahead.
ballpark. Like, it
Okay.
ain't hard. Check swing, pop-ups, leave the yard down the right field line. It's absurd. It's an absurd place to play baseball.
Yeah, it makes Lindsey Nelson in Knoxville look like a big league park.
Yes, it's anyway, whatever. Look, I could go down this whole thing, Kendall. Like, baseball traditionalists hate when I say this. Like, I think we should have uniform dimensions to every ballpark. We have uniform dimensions of home plate, 90 feet to first base, 60 feet 6 inches. Like, why do I have a 310-foot or 315 down the line or 320 down the line at Vanderbilt with a 30-foot wall? It's stupid. Like, it's dumb.
I mean, imagine if like Tiger Stadium in football, is only 70 yards long.
Yeah, let's have a 20-yard end zone. Like, that's what we'll do.
Hey, we have a really good rushing attack this year. We're going to make the field 50 yards long.
We're gonna have uprights where the crossbar is actually 40 yards long. I mean, like, whatever. Okay. Anyway, all right. Give me one series outside of the SEC that you're keeping an eye on.
Yeah, I think for me, NC State at Florida State. We don't really know what to make of NC State yet. It's kind of crazy, but I mean, we're 5 weeks or going in our 6th week into the season, and NC State still hasn't really played anybody. I mean, they played Boston College, who's decent last weekend. But NC State can really hit. Can they really hit against a good team? Florida State, tell you what, man, I mean, they're on a heater right now on the mound. I mean, Wes Mendez and Ole Miss kickback was awesome last weekend at Wake Forest. They just shut down the Deacs on the road. And then they had threw a no-hitter, their 11th no-hitter in program history, on Tuesday against Bethune-Cookman. So you're talking about a team that can really hit going against a club that is probably the hottest pitching team in college baseball right now.
He's Kendall Rogers, D1Baseball.com. Get him at Kendall Rogers. Hey, man, we always appreciate the time. Thank you.
You got it, brother. Have a good weekend.
All right, be well. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Supper Club. Need dinner plans tonight? Go start the weekend early over at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com is where you can get your reservation. But remember, you can always walk in. It's open seating at the bar. 14 bar stools, 7 tables in the bar area. So if you don't have a reservation, you can still go by Supper Club and have the meal of your life. Tomorrow, Friday, in Lent. A lot of people think, I'm not going to go to Supper Club because I'm not eating meat. Great. Go to Supper Club and get the Chilean sea bass or the scallops or that Ora King salmon or the lobster or the crudo or the tuna or the stone crabs or the Alaskan king crab legs. I mean, incredible seafood options at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. But if you're going to eat a steak, go to Supper Club. All right, it's After Further Review. We'll knock out a break. We'll go around the SEC. Ross Dellinger is going to be with us in 45 minutes because he's going to explain something that they're kind of terming the Lane Kiffin rule that Congress is considering. I'll give you a little bit of a preamble to that conversation when we come back, and we'll go around the SEC at AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon. Get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, get Gordon and get it done. I actually was talking with or texting with G yesterday. If you're in an accident and it's not your fault, you need representation. Our friends at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, they can help. Always encourage you can go read reviews, great reviews of Gordon McKernan and his team. They got plenty of those testimonials up at the website. There's a great one about Brandon Stockstill, one of the attorneys, said, I can't begin to explain how great my lawyer, Brandon Stockstill, was during my case. Went above and beyond, helped me from the beginning to the very end, kept me informed the whole case. At times felt like giving up. He was there to keep me motivated. Thanks to everyone that helped my case. You guys are truly amazing. Another 5-star review for Gordon and his team over at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Russ Dellinger is going to join us in about a little more than half hour from right now. Many of you probably know Ross lives in D.C., and so a lot of the business of sports and some of these legalities he's covering there on Capitol Hill. And he has a piece today over at On3. Ross writes for Yahoo, but he's a contributor over at On3 as well. He writes a piece a week at On3. Well, one of the things that Congress is considering as an amendment to the SCORE Act is what they're kind of referring to as the Lane Kiffin rule. And what may be baked into this is a window that would allow coaching hires to be made. It was basically what we should say is it would prohibit coaches from being poached during this window, like during the season or outside of this window. So it would effectively prevent a coach from leaving his team during the season, which I think everybody would be okay with. I know the narrative nationally is Lane Kiffin left his team during the playoffs. Here, people are going to be sort of more pro Lane Kiffin and arguing that he wanted to stay with his team throughout the playoffs. He didn't want to not coach his team. He wanted to coach his team, and Ole Miss wouldn't let him. I've said a million times, there's no way they should have let him coach if he was leaving. Ole Miss did the right thing. But similarly, if Lane Kiffin wanted to leave, he had to do it within the confines of the system at hand. So it's a terrible system. Change the rule. Change the system. If the NCAA can't do it, maybe Congress can. Anyway, we'll get more info from that on that from Ross coming up in just a little bit. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. Blasia and her team are awesome. If you need nursing care, they can come in-home, in the hospital with you as well. It's healthcare for your lifestyle. Paul O'Neill and his wife, they just had their second child. They got a 3-year-old, now a newborn. Probably going to be tough to get some Z's. You could bring in decision-critical nurses, maybe one night, maybe multiple nights a week, whatever it may be. Watch the baby overnight while you sleep so you can be at your best during the day. Maybe it's end-of-life care. Maybe you're home after surgery and these nurses can help you post-operatively. Maybe you need blood draws. Maybe you need an IV. My wife, Erica, was sick a few weeks back. We had a decision-critical nurse come to the house because she couldn't eat or drink anything. She couldn't keep anything down, so they gave her an IV in the home. It's not just healthcare. It's healthcare for your lifestyle, Decision Critical. All over the state of Louisiana. They have a Dallas office now as well. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Okay, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Missouri Tigers.
Missouri has their QB1, not that it's really any surprise. Austin Simmons, the former Ole Miss quarterback transferring to Missouri, has been named their starting quarterback. Missouri making that announcement on their social media today that Simmons will, in fact, be QB1. Transferred from Ole Miss, enters the spring with rising sophomore Matt Zollers, who transferred, who's there at Mizzou as well. But Simmons, transferred in from Ole Miss, has been named the starter.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Kirby Smart gave an update on a couple of Georgia players that are going to miss spring practice as they recover from late season or off-season surgeries. So senior center Drew Bobo, remember it affected him late throughout that playoff run. He's out with that foot injury. Junior defensive tackle Jordan Hall with a knee. Senior linebacker Gabe Harris with a toe. Oh, Muse. Senior linebacker Gabe Harris going to miss spring with a toe.
You have to feel for Gabe Harris, man.
That toe's going to keep him out all spring.
Yeah. In his senior year, too.
When you got a toe, you don't sleep on the toe.
You don't.
You don't take a toe lightly.
You don't.
You got a toe, you got to take that seriously.
It can wreck your year, man, a toe.
Proceed with caution when you got a toe. And Gabe Harris.
He's got a toe.
He's got a toe. Tyron Jones has an ankle. Zayden Walker's got a shoulder. And Carter Lucky, anything but with that knee injury.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Get it? Lucky? His name's Lucky.
What play on his last name? Yeah.
His name's Lucky, but he's got a knee injury.
So he's not
anything but.
He's not Lucky.
With that knee injury. South Carolina assistant coach Mike Fury got a contract extension. He's now under contract through 2027. Base salary, $650K the next couple of years. Heading in his third year on staff in Columbia. There you have it. This is Around the SEC. We're brought to you by Rouse's, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouses.com, Rouses.com. Get the weekly ad there at Rouses.com. Always got stuff going on. Hey, remember tomorrow, Friday and Lent, you need seafood options. They've got hot, boiled Louisiana crawfish every single day over at Rouse's, but they also have the hot and boiled kiosk. So tons of different seafood options over at Rouse's. So check them out. Dinner for the whole family. They got you covered every single night of the week. Great lunch options as well at Rouse's. And if you're making groceries, they've been helping you do that here for 100 years. Rouses.com, Rouses.com. 76 locations, Lake Charles to Orange Beach, everywhere in between. It's Rouse's. This feels like home. Real quick, get you an update on the NCAA tournament. 4 games are final. TCU beat Ohio State in the 8-9 game. Louisville beat South Florida by 4. South Florida was a trendy pick in that game, weren't they? That was an 11-6 matchup. Louisville was down one of their top scorers, and do you not know anything about? Okay, never mind. I'm looking at you like you may know.
I don't know.
No worries, Muse. No worries. I'll ask Cassie next time.
Okay.
High Point beats Wisconsin in a 12-5 matchup.
That one was trendy.
Braden Simpson had 17 and 6 in that game.
Braden Simpson did not have 17 and 6 in that game.
How do you know?
Because he plays baseball for LSU now.
You don't know anything about this
and he played baseball at High Point. I had High Point winning that game in my bracket.
Nobody cares. You don't even know anything about this.
In the bracket challenge that we do over here.
You don't know nothing about that. And then Nebraska beat Troy. Troy was another very popular pick. Otter and all of his cronies were all on Troy. Nebraska beat the ever-living mess.
I might have followed that.
76-47. Beat them by 30. Tell you what.
That one hurt a little bit this morning.
I ain't worried about it. It's your fault. Some games in action right now. Duke was trailing by double digits. They were down 11.5 against Siena. That's now a 1-point game with a 5 and change to play. Michigan State up early on North Dakota State. Arkansas up 20-4 on Hawaii. They're approaching the midway point of the first half there in Portland. Vandy up 5 on McNeese. That one with about 13 minutes to play. The rest of the slate tonight as far as the SEC is concerned. Texas and BYU, that's an 11-6 matchup. Texas won their playing. By the way, I like Texas in that game.
Same.
But then again, Chris Marler liked Texas in that game, so I might want to go the other way because he has been awful on his picks. Marler's going to explain himself in hour number 3. A&M and St. Mary's tonight. That's a 6:35 game on True TV. Georgia, St. Louis, that's another 8-9 matchup. Georgia's a 2.5-point favorite. I think that's it for the SEC today. That's it for the SEC today. So as some of these other games go final, we'll keep you posted. Let me knock out our final break of hour number 1. Ross Jackson talks some Who Dat with us in 15 minutes. Don't you move. It's AFR.
After further review.
You've heard me talk about peptides for over a year now. And you're starting to hear more and more people talk about peptides. But I want you to remember, who is the first person telling you about peptides more than a year ago? Listen, I'm living proof, as I'm someone who takes peptides every day. BPC 157 has been incredible for tissue repair and recovery. NAD+, cellular optimization, great energy levels. You're quite literally reducing the cellular age of your body. There's so many amazing ways that peptides, which are strands of amino acids, are used to supplement and maximize your body's natural functions, whether it's mental clarity, waking energy, libido. It could be so many different things. And Goodwood has an amazing selection, so check them out at yourgoodwood.com. Lowest prices, never any contracts, yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Cane's Box Combo, a symphony of flavors. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned both on the court and off. And every step along the way, I trust Our Lady of the Lake to keep me in the game.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes because it takes a champion to care for champions.
On the court, I trust my team. On my healthcare, I trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Get you caught up on national headlines from SportsCenter here in about a dozen minutes from right now. Ross Jackson, Ross Dellinger. Graph! What?
Yeah, you're right!
Give me some graph. The Pels beat the Clippers last night, one of the hottest teams in the NBA. Give me graph.
Out at the field. Oh, what a pass to the slashing, running the floor, Makovich for the dunk.
Do you know who Makovich is?
Carlo Makovich.
Okay. Name 5 other players on the Pelicans right now.
Sadiq Bey, Trey Murphy.
Sadiq Bey. I'm going to tell you what.
Bro.
Sadiq Bey. If we go back to the season opener and get my comments on Sadiq Bey, they've not aged well. However, in fairness, he was bad at the beginning of this season. Anyway, but he's really good now. So, yeah, okay.
I mean, that's let's see. I'm up to 3. Just Mac.
No.
All right.
No,
All right. So Sadiq Bey.
Yeah.
I said. Who else did I say?
You said Trey Murphy.
Trey Murphy. Thank you. Zion.
Yeah.
Derek Queen.
Okay.
DeJounte Murray.
Okay.
Murray, present.
You gave yourself a Murray present.
Yeah.
Okay. You got anybody else? It's tough. Muse.
Hold on. Herb Jones.
It's a tough scene.
Herb's still there.
Not on Herb.
Oh, God, man.
Bless you, Cassie.
Need it.
They're kind of getting fun again. We'll talk to. We have not had reason to talk to Graf in a long time. This is a team that with what do they have? 17 games left. Check my math on that, please. I think it's 17 games left. They're not even at 30 wins. They've been bad. But, like, over the last month, you're like, oh, they're kind of playing better.
12 games.
They have 12 left. Okay,
12 games.
Sorry. You know, Muse.
Yeah.
We don't math around here. You know that.
I was told there'd be no math club.
So we'll talk to Graf because they're getting to the point where they're going to have some decisions to make. Namely, who's going to be the head coach. I am still so pissed at this team for not top 10 protecting that draft pick. So you're going to go into this draft without your first round pick, which is atrocious. But anyway, it'll hamstring you in this offseason. But they got to hire a coach, and is James Borrego a real candidate? I don't know. I'm going to ask Graf. So anyway, that's all coming up. Hey, real quick, also coming up tomorrow is the deadline to sign up for the Parish Construction and Roofing $25K giveaway. Yes, you might think we're crazy, but we are giving away $25,000 cash to a Louisiana homeowner. All you have to do is sign up for a free no-obligation roofing inspection. No purchase necessary, nothing like that. You just got to let us inspect your roof. And you're entered. Somebody's winning $25K. But you got to enter by Friday at 5 p.m. That's the cutoff to enter because we have to perform the inspection before the drawing the following Friday. So that might just understand, like, you have to go fill out the form at our website by Friday at 5 p.m. to enter. So that's tomorrow, 5 p.m. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, the big splash screen that comes up on the website, big banner at the top. Just click it, boom, fill out the form, and you're entered. Parishbuilt.com. All right. Today was the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters Prestige Awards here in Baton Rouge, and our team at Guarantee Media cleaned up. So congrats to everybody. Our sister station, Eagle 98.1, was named the large market radio station of the year. The Dream Pool Sweepstakes won the promotion of the year. That was in conjunction with with Dreams Come True of Louisiana. Our Guarantee 100 initiative, which you've heard us talk about for quite literally a year, whereas this company was turning 100 years old. We donated via the Guarantee Foundation $100,000 to both Dreams Come True of Louisiana and the ALS Association. It was a year-long promotion, and it was amazing, and that won the Community Service Award. Our friends at Talk 107.3 won the Best Election Coverage for Radio. Michelle Southern won the Lanyap Award. And then here at 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, Paul O'Neill, for the second time, was named Producer of the Year. So congrats to Paul.
Paul O'Neill's name.
Congrats to Paulie. And AFR, again, won Best Sports Show, Large Market Radio. So in, I believe that's the 9th time that this show has won Best Sports Show. So we're humbled and flattered and thrilled. You don't get into media to win awards. It's just like that's not the reason you do it, but it's always nice to be recognized by your peers. And today was a great day for our company. And also major shout out to Delta Media, our affiliates at ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles. They cleaned up as well. Especially shout out to Kevin Foote, whose Foote's Fury won Best Use of Digital Media. And our guy D-Lo, Dawson Iserlo, was named a Young Professional of the Year. So well-deserving, and we're fired up. So congrats to all the winners, and thanks to everybody who voted at the LAB. Hour 2 next.
After further review.
We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. You can always start at firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Make sure your first call is First South Farm Credit. And remember, this is the time of year, and I know this resonates with so many people. This is really the busiest time of year when they come out of hunting season and people are just tired of sharing someone else's property, hunting on someone else's property on their lease. And so they're like, I'm not doing it anymore. I want my own. If that's you and you're ready to start that process, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Because since 1916, for 110 years, First South Farm Credit has done one thing: help Louisianians buy land. So your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthland.com. FirstSouthland.com.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. We have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. propane water heaters are very cost efficient. And the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Duke, the top overall seed in the men's NCAA tournament, has been on the ropes all afternoon, down much of the first-round game to Siena. Blue Devils, though, now have the lead, up 67-63 on Siena. 37 seconds left in regulation. Cam Boozer's got 20 points. He's 11 of 12 from the free throw line. Vandy leading McNeese State 58-52, 8.5 minutes left in the second half. Two games in the first half. Michigan State's up 30-18 on North Dakota State. Arkansas leading Hawaii 36-23. High Point, first Cinderella team of the big dance on the men's side. The 12 seed in the West upsetting 5 seed Wisconsin 83-82. Panthers with their first NCAA tournament win. Same goes for Nebraska thanks to a 76-67 rout of Troy. Louisville took care of South Florida 83-79. Xavier Edmonds go-ahead layup, less than 5 seconds to go in regulation. TCU edged Ohio State 66-64. NBA Pistons star and league MVP candidate Cade Cunningham will miss an extended amount of time after being diagnosed with a collapsed lung. Team, though, is optimistic he could be back for the start of the playoffs.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Friday, I'll tell you why the Cleveland Browns have given us a glimpse into their future plans when it comes to their QB position. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 2. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Cassie Spazzali.
Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Man, we are loaded up this hour. Ross Dellinger in 15 minutes. Todd Graffanini, bottom of this hour.
Yeah, you're right.
Marler next hour. Eddie Radosevich talking some OU Sooner baseball. We got a ton to do. Saints are beginning their top 30 visits. It was a good opportunity to bring our buddy Ross Jackson back. Of course, Locked on Saints and LouisianaSports.net. Yo, dude, how are you?
Hey, man, doing great. Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Two guys I want to start with that are intriguing for different reasons are Mansoor Delane and Makai Lemon. Let's start with Delane, the LSU guy. Maybe start, Ross, if you would, trying to gauge what the Saints' interest might be in Delane at 8 overall.
Yeah, look, I think that there would be some genuine interest there, or certainly some genuine intrigue. These 30 visits are referred to as top 30 visits, but it's worth clarifying that it doesn't mean that everyone that gets brought in on these are considered top 30 players on the Saints board. It's just kind of a nickname for what the visit is. But it does give them an opportunity to bring them into the facility, which is kind of the unique piece to it. And they get an opportunity to kind of do, physicals, medical checks with the team's medical staff, as well as, do some meetings and get to meet the coaching staff, as well as potential teammates, things like that. You don't get to do any on-field work with them or anything like that. But for a guy like Mansoor Delane, I don't know that they necessarily need to. I mean, this is a guy that's right up the road and that played a little hurt last season and still played lights out. He was still top 5 in both categories of passer rating allowed amongst qualifying cornerbacks when it came to man coverage and zone coverage. His overall 40% catch percentage allowed was one of the best, or forced rather, was one of the best in college football last year. I think that the interest there could be real because he's probably, if not the, I don't even want to say probably, he is the best pure corner in this draft. And the Saints maybe, have a need at inside corner, having lost Delonte Taylor to the Tennessee Titans. But that doesn't mean that they don't feel like they have that solution in-house, and it could therefore add a perimeter corner and then move somebody like a Quincy Riley, for instance, inside, who has over 100 snaps of slot experience from his collegiate days. And so I think that the interest there is genuine because of how scheme versatile Delane is and how physical he plays, which matches very much Brandon Staley's defense. And then the high football IQ is obviously a big part of it as well. So I think there would be genuine interest there for sure.
Now, let's walk through some of the other top 30 visits that we know are going to take place. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but Lemon from USC is also coming on a top 30 as well?
Correct. Yeah, he is one of the 4 that we know of for sure. And he's one of the more interesting ones. He's another guy that probably doesn't have a lot of medical questions, but obviously made some noise in terms of his media availability at the NFL Combine and didn't run and didn't do a lot of the different things there. And so it's an opportunity to kind of bring him in and just kind of talk to him and get to know a little bit more of who he is as a player. I think if you look across all the Saints free agency signings, from the punter Ryan Wright to the big addition and running back Travis Etienne, character was a big part of each one of those guys. You could see it as they went up to the podium. There was high character, high confidence, high charisma. And I think they want to get to know some of these other guys to see if they kind of check those boxes as well. I think that's a very important piece to the Kellen Moore puzzle when it comes to adding players to a team.
As far as Lemon, where this isn't a potential number 8 overall guy, is it? Or are we talking later in the draft?
He was considered a top, he's in that sort of top 3 wide receivers in this year's draft class. His teammate Jacoby Lane is more of a 3rd, 4th round player. But Mekhi Lemon, 1,100 yards last year, 11 touchdown receptions last year, outproduced both the other top 2 guys in Carnell Tate as well as Jordan Tyson. So could be in conversation as a top 10 guy, probably more a middle of the 1st round guy that you want to keep an eye out on just in case he falls out of the 1st round.
Okay.
I don't know that he's necessarily the guy you invest a top 10 selection in unless he blows you away by coming in and meeting your staff, right? Because we all know it only takes one team to kind of fall in love, and then all of a sudden the player's a top 5, top 10 selection. But I think probably this is a player that you get to know because there's the chance that he falls out of the 1st round, or you potentially look at what a lot of teams have been doing lately, which is using your 1st round pick and then trading back up into the 1st. There's a lot of other scenarios in which you at least want to make sure that you have all the information that you need on this guy. And I think that with some of the character questions and things like that, you probably want to bring him in and get an opportunity to get those questions answered with your own interactions as opposed to through hearsay.
Okay, Ross Jackson's with us. He's on Twitter at Ross Jackson NOLA. You can read his stuff at LouisianaSports.net. You can watch or listen to Locked On Saints. So we mentioned there's 4 top 30 visits. We talked about Delane and Lemon. The other 2 are Louisville wide receiver Chris Bell and Penn State safety Zakee Wheatley. Let's take those one at a time here and start with Bell, and that's obviously intriguing because that's Tyler Shuck's old teammate.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and he is a guy that makes perfect sense as a top 30 visit or as a 30 visit. You want to bring him in and get an idea of what his progress is when it comes to that late season ACL injury that he had. Now, when he was at the Combine, he said that the week after that was when he was cleared to start running. And his doctor, Dan Cooper, who's one of the best in the business when it comes to ACL repairs and sports surgery in particular, told him that he might be ready for training camp. And so now getting an opportunity to bring him in and get your medical staff to get a look at him and get an idea of what his progress looks like, what his timeline looks like, all these other things. Really wise decision by teams to bring Chris Bell in. Explosive player, 6'2", 220 pounds, really kind of compact runner who people expected would have run in the 4.3s had he been able to run. Probably a 4.4 guy, just as good in that case. Big time yards after catch threat. kind of Deebo Samuel-ish. And so it would really give the Saints two things. It would give them that yards after catch receiver, which they don't really have that kind of threat on their roster and haven't for some time. And then, as you mentioned, former teammate of Tyler Shuck, that's the guy you're trying to build around. If you're bringing in somebody that's already got chemistry with him, an obvious value there.
Okay, let's talk about Wheatley, the safety from Penn State.
Yeah, and I should say real quick, too, on Bell, probably talking day 2 for him. Sorry about that. I should have mentioned that. But day 2 for him, probably pick 42 would be a great spot for him. He could sneak into the bottom of the first round, but if he makes it to 42, obviously a good selection there. When it comes to Wheatley, we're talking about a big safety, right? Kind of profiles as like a slot safety, big nickel type. 6'2", 200-plus pounds, really physical player, can get downhill. Kind of is a little bit more of the Alontae Taylor role type, somebody that kind of fits the same measure as like a Keontae Scott out of Miami, Jalen Kilgore out of South Carolina. These are all guys that feel like would be good matches to be able to come in and maybe take on that role. So let's say if the Saints feel really good about a player like Ohio State's Caleb Downs, but he goes off the board before 8, and so they decide to go wide receiver or another position at 8. This is a guy you can come back to in day 2, either at pick 42 or 73, and potentially invest in to come in and handle that sort of slot role for you. Very versatile guy, played safety, played corner, played slot, played dime linebacker, just kind of checks all the boxes for the play style and experience that you want to bring in for somebody that's going to take on an expansive role like that in Brandon Staley's defense.
Yeah, Russ, how big of a need do you think safety is for New Orleans?
I don't think safety's a big need. Them having Jonas Sanker going into his second year after he impressed as a rookie. They brought back Julian Blackman. They still have guys like Jordan Howden. And then, of course, they still have their leader in that room and leader on their defense right now in Justin Reed. I think really it's that slot corner perspective, which often gets also called slot safety. But in this Saints defense, that's a cornerback position. And so I think that's really the big need and what makes cornerback such a big need. And they've got a couple of ways they can address it. They could bring somebody in that specifically takes that star role, which is kind of that hybrid inside, outside, a little bit of run stopper, a little bit of coverage guy, a little bit of pass rusher. Same thing we saw Alontae Taylor do last year. We've seen C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the past hold that role. So you could bring somebody in specifically to take on that role, and there are a handful of those fits. But if you aren't able to do that, getting accustomed to or getting to know some of these outside corners that might allow you to move somebody around could potentially be another way to address that position. And I think that's maybe where the Mansoor Delane opportunity at 8 could make some sense for the world.
Ross, before you go, give me another player or an angle, some storyline here as pro days are getting ready to start that you're interested in that we should all be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to those pro days, I think the biggest thing that you're looking at is agility scores now. And so this isn't really like a specific player, but just over the course of these pro days, there are a lot of people that go in and they test at the combine, but they only run the 40, they only do the vertical leap, they only do the broad jump. They don't run things like 3-cone and short shuttle. And those 3-cone and short shuttle times can be really important for players, particularly at skill positions, because it gives you a little bit of an understanding of their short area quickness and their ability to be able to change direction and keep their momentum going. And so as you start to see some of the results of these pro days, looking for the 3-cone results that come in under 7 seconds, looking for the short shuttle results that come in under 4.3 seconds gives you an idea of somebody that brings a little bit of those pieces of the game with them, the quickness, the agility, the ability to change direction, and what they can do in the short area. That becomes really important for things like route running, as well as, of course, as a linebacker changing direction, you're doing that all the time as a coverage player, right? So that's my big thing for these pro days is the ideal opportunity to finally be able to start getting some of those agility numbers so you get a better idea of what sort of the athleticism of these players are before you invest draft capital in them.
Ross Jackson at Ross Jackson NOLA. Give him a follow there. Of course, you can read him at LouisianaSports.net, listen or watch Locked on Saints. Okay, man, we'll be in touch. Thanks.
Sounds great. Thanks, bud. Take care. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.
Be well. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry Springs here. Of course, a lot of people get engaged during the spring as the weather gets nicer, or maybe you had a spring wedding, and so that means you have a spring anniversary. Maybe you have a milestone anniversary coming up. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, they can help with that beautiful forever diamond or that gift that will be remembered in your family and passed down for generations. At Lee Michaels, you're not going to walk in and see a disheveled guy like punching numbers into a calculator to get you that best deal. They have an amazing selection at always great prices, no matter your budget. And when you walk in, they're going to make you feel like you're making an important purchase, because you are. It's a beautiful piece of jewelry, a symbol of your love for whoever it is that you love, for whatever occasion, that will be hopefully passed down in your family forever. That should feel like a special thing. And at Lee Michaels, they specialize in the Lee Michaels experience. Walk in the door and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 9 locations in all: Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Our Thursday show is presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. We will talk some Pels with Todd Graffinini in about 15 minutes from right now. Get you caught up on the NCAA tournament in Hour 3 with Chris Marler. Eddie Radosevich covers the Oklahoma Sooners. Will be here to give us a little thumbnail preview of Boomer Sooners. They come to the box this weekend. When we come back, though, we're headed to D.C. Ross Dellinger joins us to talk about the new Lane Kiffin rule. We'll explain next. AFR.
AFR.
When I tell you about Duplessis Builders every day, the thing that I love to be able to hammer home for anyone who's thinking about building a pool or an outdoor kitchen is quality. There's so many people, talk to anybody who's ever built a pool, put in a pool at their house. Chances are they're going to tell you about, and you're going to hear horror stories about their pool builder. What always stands out to me about Derek and his team over at Duplessis is their commitment to an incredible customer service experience in what is a truly invasive and intrusive experience. I mean, you have crews that are bringing heavy equipment and digging a giant hole in your backyard in a process that's going to take 2 months. That is invasive, intrusive, and generally not fun. But they make it as pleasant an experience as possible at Duplessis Builders, and they stand by their work with a 10-year workmanship warranty. DuplessisBuilders.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Congress about to pass a Lane Kiffin rule? Maybe. Ross Dellinger from Yahoo and a contributor over at On3 hops aboard here. Yo, dude, how are you?
Good, Matt. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. Okay, so Congress is going to pass the Lane Kiffin rule, maybe. What is it?
Yeah, well, probably unlikely, but, this is what Congress does. So the SCORE Act, which I've been on the show, I think, talked about quite a bit before, it's a college sports bill that's currently working its way through the House of Representatives. It's supposed to come up for a vote on the floor in April, and they are modifying it. It was supposed to come up for a vote in September and then again in December, and it did not because they didn't have the votes. But they claim, the Republican leadership of the House, that they have the votes. Steve Scalise and Mike Johnson, both from Louisiana, have the House leaders there. They are whipping votes to get the bill through. And the bill does a lot of things, but it's being modified to whip those votes. To get those votes, it's being changed a bit. And one of the changes being made basically would provide guidelines for in the NCAA or any government body to make rules. And one of the guidelines is around coaches and coaches not leaving their team in the middle of a season. So that's one of the guidelines, is that would be sort of prohibited. So as one of the congressional staff members told me earlier this week, it's sort of the Lane Kiffin rule.
Okay, so you said it probably won't pass. Why not?
Well, the SCORE Act is a Republican-authored bill, and it does three main things. And they're all probably basically at the request of the NCAA and the conferences, right? It gives them legal protection to create rules and enforce their rules, antitrust protection and exemption. And it preempts all these different state NIL laws. And it also deems athletes as students and not employees. Well, it has zero support from the Democrats in the Senate. So while it may pass the House on a slim majority, it is very unlikely in the way it's written now, at least, to pass the other chamber, the Senate, where it needs 60 votes, which would mean it needs 7 Democrats. And there are 0 Democrats supporting it. So if it does get out of the House, Matt, it would have to be modified again pretty dramatically in the Senate to have any chance. And right now, 2 senators kind of are working on a separate independent Senate bill. Maria Cantwell, the Democrat from Washington, and Ted Cruz, the Republican from Texas, have been working on a sort of a separate bill that has some of the components of the SCORE Act, but unlikely will it have the Lane Kiffin rule like the SCORE Act might have.
Why?
Well, I just think that's a hard one to maybe get bipartisan support for. They say that the more you add into a bill, the more difficult it is to pass the chambers. So the SCORE Act is undergoing all these modifications to add all this stuff in an attempt to whip Republican votes and get the votes. But it's also sort of dragging it down in a way to where when it gets to the Senate, it's going to have so much stuff with it, that it's just harder to pass. And so the Senate bill that the separate bill that Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell are discussing will probably be a little more narrow and won't include all these things. But it's interesting. And, another modification 2 other modifications that the SCORE Act is seeing, which could be in a Senate bill, more likely to be in a Senate bill, is a limitation on transfers, allowing the NCAA to make a transfer rule, perhaps the old rule, Matt, of the one-time transfer policy where you get one time to transfer and then you have to sit out. And then the other change is kind of overhauling the governance of the NCAA, perhaps even just removing the NCAA from governing college athletics and having instead sort of a board of commissioners or congressionally chartered board of some sort.
Ross Dellinger is our guest, at Ross Dellinger. Yahoo Sports contributes it on 3 as well. Ross, I guess I can keep asking, like, why over and over, but I think what ultimately everybody agrees on, I mean, everybody who's a fan of college football, is you want some type of uniformity. Whatever that looks like, I don't know what it looks like. And if it's not going to come from the states, because that's 50 different sets of rules, then you need federal law, in theory, to enact something. But it feels like we're never, ever getting closer to actually having some answer from the federal government. So am I misreading that, or do you feel like there is actually a real possibility that we can get some type of concrete rules to govern college athletics from the federal government, from Congress?
Yeah, it's been 7 years, right? It's been 7 years of lobbying by the NCAA to try to get federal legislation that basically allows them to create or at least enforce their rules without being sued. That's kind of the bottom line.
Yeah.
Right. And the other part, yeah, you made note of the different NIL state laws, which create kind of in a differing schools are using their state law in different ways, and all these state laws are different and they're applying it differently, and so it's an uneven playing field. So, and then the third issue is the employment issue, where a lot of schools and conferences don't want their athletes to be employed. So there's like those three issues, right? It's like we want to enforce our rules and not be sued. We want uniform rules, so eliminate all these state laws, and then we don't want athletes to be employees. So those are like the three buckets here. And there's a lot of agreement that in Democrats and Republicans both, that certain NCAA rules should be enforced without legal issues.
Right.
Eligibility is a good example of one, right? Eligibility would be a good example of one. So there's some agreement there. There's almost universal agreement in preempting all these state laws. So you have a uniform code or standard. There is not as much agreement on having in a bill something that would prohibit athletes from being eventually deemed employees. There is not agreement there. That's a big hurdle that's sort of standing in the way. I'm on with you and Feinbaum a lot, and the question I get from Feinbaum, especially every time I'm on, is like, what are the chances, right, of a federal bill happening? And I would say within the last year, the chances have increased, I think, with every month. I think they have. The problem is the chances started at like 2%. So now we're at like 15%, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe 20%. I don't know. But it's still a low percentage, but it is increasing because lawmakers are starting to take notice of sort of the money spent in college athletics and how it's being spent, especially public money, university funds being spent. And so I think that's catching a lot of people's eye. And another reason is sort of just the administration, right? The Trump administration, he had a big roundtable over this 2 weeks ago. So they are very invested in sort of the issue. So for those reasons, it does feel like it's getting closer. And, some news I'll say on your show a little bit, I haven't really reported it. It's nothing really too groundbreaking, but for a second time in a week, Maria Cantwell, the Democrat senator in the Senate, in Republican Senator Ted Cruz met for a second time today within a week's span over college sports legislation. And that has not happened in a very long time.
Okay. Why is that significant?
Because those two basically Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell will control college sports legislation. They have to come to a bipartisan agreement for any legislation to move through the Senate. And without the Senate's approval and 60 votes, which includes 7 Democrats, and Maria Cantwell can get those 7 Democrats if there's an agreement with Ted Cruz. And they have not been talking very regularly, and they are now.
Okay. The last thing, I don't want to go too long, but I know from the roundtable with the president a couple of weeks ago, of that was expected an executive order. Do we expect that executive order will have any type of, executive power that could actually help run or govern college sports?
Unlikely.
Okay.
As someone said to me, our country runs on congressional actions in court orders, not executive orders. And so it's the courts in Congress that will shape the future of college athletics. It's not the executive branch. An executive order, and the president even acknowledged this openly 2 weeks ago, an executive order can be and likely will be challenged. And a lot of the things that will be in that executive order are policies already deemed by the courts to be unlawful. So it's unlikely that an executive order will be at least the long-term solution. Could it be some kind of temporary solution before it gets sued? I guess, sure. And one is coming. Within the next week or two, there will be a second executive order from the president.
All right. Ross Dellinger, follow him on Twitter at Ross Dellinger, Yahoo, and contributor at On3 as well. All right, we always appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Matt, thanks.
All right, be well. Our Thursday shows are brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Let me hop. We'll get to a break real quick. We'll come back, talk some Pels with Graf, who all of a sudden the Pels have won 4 or 5, and the one they lost, they kind of blew the game at Houston. So they're hot. We'll talk to Graf next. AFR.
AFR.
Speaking of hot, as these temperatures continue to climb, it's 77 right now. We'll be back in the 80s this weekend. If it's hot in your house, call River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. They'll send a technician to your home. When that technician's on the way, by the way, they always want you to feel comfortable with whoever's in your home. So when the technician's on the way, you'll get a call, a text, and an email alerting you the technician's on the way, name of the technician, photo of that technician, and reviews from past customers about that technician. They want you to feel comfortable, not only with the service, but who is performing that service. Is River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Trey, pop a three, right angle. Nothing but net. Trey begin.
Todd Graffinini on the call. Todd Graffinini on your radio. Graf, what up?
Matt, what you doing, man?
Paying
How are
attention.
ya?
I'm paying attention to the Pelicans.
I figured that's why you texted me. I was in shock.
Well, see, Graf, here's the thing. I've never stopped paying attention to the Pelicans. And you know we're an affiliate, and so I hear you and JD tons. And when I'm at home or not in the car, whatever, I'll watch a lot. This team this year, as you know, just hasn't warranted a lot of coverage. But man, like, they're playing well. So let's just start with an easy one. What has changed?
I think it's very simple, Matt, and I appreciate your patronage, Matt, despite the lack of coverage. And look, it was not warranted at the beginning of the season, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think I can answer the question very simply. Health.
Yeah.
You have guys back. And one thing I've learned in my 7 years doing this, Matt, when your best players don't play for an extended period of time, it is really, really difficult to win in the NBA. When your best players do play consistently, you're going to give yourself a pretty good chance to win. And that's what I think you're seeing right now. I mean, we could go down the list, but, you know, Herb Jones, who isn't going to wow you every night with what he does statistically as far as scoring the basketball, what he brings to the table defensively, this is a first-team all-defensive player 2 years ago when the Pels were in the playoffs. Well, when he does not play this year, he's missed 23 games. The Pels are 3-20. When Sadiq Bey doesn't play this year, the Pels are 1-6. Very important cogs to what's going on right now, and I don't think I have to tell you what DeJounte Murray has brought to the table since he has returned after missing the first 58 games of the season. So,
I'm so glad.
Well done.
I'm so glad
Well
we have an opportunity to bring it back. You know, the DeJounte Murray piece of this, Graf,
Murray, present,
is fascinating because there was so much anticipation before last season, and quite literally the first freaking game of the year, he gets hurt. And so we just have never seen this manifest. So for those who have not seen DeJounte Murray play for the New Orleans Pelicans,
Murray, present,
what does he give to, how does he make them different?
Well, first of all, he is a true point guard. He can run the offense. And even more importantly, Matt, when the game is close, this is a guy who has been a closer for the teams he has played for in the past, meaning he is not afraid to take the game-winning shot, if that's what it comes down to. He can calm things down when you're in clutch situations. Despite what happened on Friday night against Houston, and I'm probably never going to get over that game, but I digress. He's just a guy you can count on every night. And yes, Matt, last year it was devastating because that opening night against the Chicago Bulls, you're thinking, wow, I think we've got something here with Murray. And, you're thinking about, all right, what kind of a run is this team is going to go on? And I go to my local pub celebrating an opening night win, and I had not even gotten the first sip of my drink back down on the bar, and I get the tweet that he fractured his hand.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, you got to be absolutely friggin' kidding me. So he's out till December. He comes back, he plays a couple weeks, and then he tears his Achilles. It was just a really bad year on the court and off the court for him. Well, I think he's come back now, Matt, like a guy who hadn't played in a year and is absolutely ravenous to play basketball. And we are seeing the I'm going to say it here, DeJounte Murray.
Murray, present.
Yeah, we're seeing him as we hoped he would be at the beginning of last year. And don't forget also, Matt, this is another he's a second team all NBA defensive player. So that's two lockdown defenders that you have in your starting lineup now that you do not have for the majority of this season. And when those, especially Herb Jones, when he was not playing, the defense was atrocious. I mean, absolutely atrocious. Herb Jones can guard anybody on the court, 1 through 5. And you did not have that. And rotations were different. And Herb Jones can just mask a lot of things that are going wrong because he's that good of a defender. Now that he's back and now that Murray's back, you're starting to see it on the court.
Ty Graffanini's with us, radio voice of the Pels. A true back-to-back. They beat the Clips last night. They're back on the floor tonight against L.A. in New Orleans. You referenced the game against Houston, and that I know you. I was actually listening to the pregame show yesterday, and actually maybe it was it yesterday when you
might have been the Dallas game. It
was Dallas. It was Dallas, and you all were sort of rehashing the end of the Rockets game where the blew a 2-score lead in the final 30 seconds. Graph. I mean, it was like other than that, you've won 4 of your last 5, and the one you lost, you blew. So I look at this team and I go, okay, well, when healthy, like, what do you think is, like, what is realistic for this team? I don't want to get my hopes up that they're maybe figuring something out and going in the right direction because I feel like, fool me once, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, like,
no,
what are they?
This is what, okay, short-term goal, Matt, not even looking towards next year yet. I know that's going to come up. The season, goodness gracious, Matt, we only have 3 weeks left. It's unreal how it's gone now because after the All-Star break, it truly is a sprint. It's not a marathon anymore. There's only 12 games left, including tonight. So realistically, this year, and I said this before we started to go on the stretch we're on right now, when you're playing a really, really good mix of teams that are not trying to win and teams that are absolutely trying to win, that are in the thick of the playoff race, be it Western Conference or Eastern Conference. And you played one of those teams last night, you're going to play them again tonight. Yeah. They need to win to the Clippers. So this is a really good test. I'm calling for 30 wins. If you can get to 30 wins after the absolute disaster of a start that this team had, I think it would be remarkable as far as the turnaround. Matt, you're talking about a team that's had 2 9-game losing streaks, a 7-game losing streak, and a 6-game losing streak in a season. That's brutal.
Yeah,
that's brutal. And they have come back from it and are playing their best basketball of the year. And a lot of it has to do with, look, there's no draft pick next year. There's no first-round draft pick. So you are playing your guys, and they're available to play. And that makes all the difference. But like I said, The key is you're playing teams. That's why you're going to get a pretty good grasp of what you got. Because in these next 3 weeks, you're playing teams that are in the absolute middle of the playoff race that have to win. Clippers tonight. We played Houston, of course, on Friday. We're going on the road next week, Matt, playing in Madison Square Garden against the Knicks, third in the East. You're playing Detroit, tops in the East. Toronto, who you just saw last week here, they're sixth in the East. Those are 3 top 6 teams in the Eastern Conference that need to win games. And that's why these last, 12 games are going to be a whole lot of fun, no matter, you're only playing 2 teams left that are really, quote-unquote, tanking, and that's Utah and Sacramento. Everybody else is in it. So I think you're going to get pretty decent sample size of what you got here.
You want to get to 30, you got to go 6-6 over the final 12, 500.
Yep.
I mean,
it's doable.
It's
doable.
It does feel doable. Hey, before you go, one other thing I wanted to ask you about. I saw Schmidt tweeted this earlier. Since James Borrego took over, the Pelicans are first in the league in rim rate. That's the percentage of the field goal attempts at the rim. And the gap between the Pels and second place Detroit is greater than the gap between Detroit and Washington, who's 18th on this list. Give me a thought, if you would, Graf, on James Borrego. If this is, maybe if you want to talk about that, their ability to finish at the rim or to get to the rim, but also just a thought at Borrego, because, Graf, I mean, they're going to be finding a permanent head coach after a dozen more games.
No, look, as far as rim rate, I'm not an analytics type. I know what points in the paint is, and I would equate points in the paint to rim rate. The Pels have been pretty much number one points in the paint since third, fourth week of the season. Them and Detroit have been 1 and 2 the entire year. And a lot of that has to do with Zion Williamson, who averages 15.5 points in the paint a night.
Yeah.
And he's just, that type of player. They have taken advantage of, their ability to drive the basketball as well, and get some easy buckets that way. They've been first in the league in drive points per game most of the year, also at about 32 points a game. So that all of that equates to points in the paint. I'll tell you what about James Borrego. I think he's done a fantastic job. It is not an easy situation when you have to take over for your former boss. He's Willie Green's top assistant. Willie Green is let go, and now you're the boss. So it was a slow adjustment period because he was trying to implement what he wanted to do as a head coach system-wise on the fly. There was no practice time at all when Borrego took over. He was trying to implement his system during shoot-arounds and closed bowl practices before games. It was literally like that. Once the team got some days off and some practice time, it was especially during the play-in tournament when you had, those 3-4 day stretches where you weren't playing while the other teams were playing in the in-season tournament, in December. And that's when you started to see a little bit of headway in what Borrego was trying to do. And now, since these guys have played together for a while, you've seen some absolute definite rotations. You've seen the lineup with Murray in it, and you've seen the lineup without Murray in it, Murray present, who, by the way, is not playing tonight because he's not going to play the second of a back-to-back. He has not done that since he has returned. But guys know their roles, and they know what the rotations are going to be. And it's a very comforting thing when you have an idea of what is going to happen before the ball is even thrown up in the air. I just think he's done an outstanding job as James Borrego, and absolutely he has warranted very close consideration for becoming the permanent head coach. I don't think there's any doubt about it. He's actually creeping up on 500. He's not going to get there because there's not enough games left in the season. But if you go on a major streak here at the end of the year, he's going to be very, very close to being a 500 head coach since taking over. And from where it started when he took over, that's just masterful stuff.
Yeah. Graf, we got to run. Appreciate it as always. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Right,
anytime.
Be well. Todd Graffinini, radio voice of the Pels. Wrap up hour 2 next.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown, 2 amazing hotel properties. Watermark Downtown, Baton Rouge, voted by you the best hotel in the Best of 225 Award. So I can say it, but there's a whole lot more weight when you all say it overwhelmingly. Best 225 Awards, best hotel in Baton Rouge, Watermark Baton Rouge. Take one step inside the door, you'll get it. It is the picture of luxury. It is gorgeous. The original Louisiana National Bank building in downtown. As a matter of fact, Guarantee, our company Guarantee, at one point during their history, 80, 90 years ago, actually occupied one of the floors of what is now the Watermark Baton Rouge. I digress. It's a beautiful piece of our city's history in downtown. The Gregory, the restaurant there in the lobby, is awesome. Sunday brunch at the Gregory, amazing. Free valet parking whenever you're eating at the Gregory, so you never have to worry about paying to park downtown. Just get downtown and experience Watermark Baton Rouge.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6th generation.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Get Tigers in the Pros just a second. Remember, we are brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. I tell you every day, tires are a commodity. You get the exact same product a lot of different places. You want to buy a Michelin, a Bridgestone, a BF Goodrich, Firestone, you're getting the same tire. So why not go to the place that's going to sell you that tire at the cheapest price? Shawbills guarantees it. It's part of the Charlie's Dozen, their price match guarantee. If you buy a tire at Shawbills, find that advertised cheaper somewhere else, they'll refund you 125% of the difference. They're not going to be beat on price, and they're going to treat you awesome. It's Shawbills. And, of course, oil change, tire rotation, need new wiper blades, anything. Check engine light, brake, squeaking. They can fix all of it for you. Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills. We keep you rolling. Okay, Muse, Tigers in the pros. Hit it.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Start with some NFL free agency. The Detroit Lions signed free agent Damone Clark on Wednesday evening. The team announced Clark, 25, finished the season with the Texans. They claimed him off waivers after the Cowboys released him. 6 games with Houston. The majority of his snaps came on special teams. Former 5th-round pick will now be with the Detroit Lions for the 2026 season. In the most shocking news of the day, the Pittsburgh Pirates have announced Paul Skeens will be their opening day starter.
That's not shocking.
For the 3rd year in a row. Rookie of the Year, Cy Young Award winner. What does he have on deck for year number 3? Spring breakout.
That's not shocking.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic.
I mean, he's been the opening day.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic.
So you said the least shocking news of the day would be that Paul Skeens is the opening day starter.
Okay. I was just trying to be sarcastic. Hey, shout out to former LSU women's golfer Carla Tejado. Made her first career start on the LPGA Tour today. Shot 2 under par at the Founders Cup. Best of luck to her the rest of the weekend. That's pretty awesome. That's Tigers and Pros.
Out here talking about Carla Tejada, who we wish great things for.
We do.
No mention of Curtis Thompson.
He's not playing.
We're brought to you by Evamore. EVAMOR. Evamore.com. Drink Evamore. I love Evamore so much. If you're a little dehydrated, drink Evamore. High-performance athlete, drink Evamore. If you're just a human being that needs water, because we all need water, natural artesian water, healthier alternative, Louisiana product, drink Evamore. EVAMOR. Find location nearest you or order it online at evamore.com. Evamore.com. EVAMOR. Evamore.com. All right, hour number 3 coming up right after SportsCenter.
AFR.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. And just like LSU baseball earns its success pitch by pitch, inning by inning, FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake providers earn trust every day. As LSU's championship health partner, Our Lady of the Lake cares for the defending national champions, keeping Tigers healthy, strong, and ready to perform all season long. From the bullpen to the batter's box, from the training room to the classroom, LSU baseball athletes trust the Lake to help them recover, perform, and stay at their best. And it's not just for athletes. From sports medicine to pediatrics, heart care to recovery from everyday injuries, Our Lady of the Lake brings championship-level care to families across Louisiana. Trust the team that cares for the team you love. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. Learn more at olrmc.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar.
It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long. In the grind, the focus,
and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes. Because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the Lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
The Cane's Box Combo, a symphony of flavors. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Everything you need for a stunning garden is at the Plant Barn in Baton Rouge. From trees and shrubs to plants and pottery, the Plant Barn has it all at great prices. Visit us today on Valley Street, right off Perkins Road in South Downs.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Duke's breathing a sigh of relief after a massive scare in the first round of the men's NCAA tournament. Trailed from about 3 minutes into the first half until about 5 minutes left in regulation. That was before getting on track and beating Siena 71-65. Cam Boozer, 22 points, 13 rebounds. Brother Caden, 19, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals. Duke's got TCU next. Horned Frogs got the go-ahead layup from Xavier Edmonds less than 5 seconds left. Edged Ohio State 66-64. We have our first Cinderella entry on this day one. High Point, first double-digit seed to the 12 seed in the West, has just knocked out the 5 seed Wisconsin 83-82. Nebraska picked up its first ever NCAA tournament win, defeated Troy 74-67. Louisville 83, South Florida 79, Vandy 78, McNeese State 68. Just under 11 minutes to go in the second half. Michigan State still up big on North Dakota State, 69-48. Arkansas leading Hawaii, 73-55, 11 and a half minutes left in regulation. With the NBA playoffs looming, star Cade Cunningham with a collapsed lung out an extended period of time for Detroit.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Cassie Spazzali.
Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. You know who really loved the Barbie Girl drop was our girl, Gabrielle McLeod. Did you notice?
I did not actually notice, no.
So as I was walking on stage, so LAB, the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters Prestige Awards were today. And it is customary that the reigning Miss Louisiana presents the awards at the LAB banquet. So they announce the winner, and then the Miss Louisiana presents the awards. So Gabrielle McLeod is the current Miss Louisiana. And if you are a listener or viewer of 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge or our YouTube stream, you know that because she's an endorser, a spokesperson for Louisiana propane dealers, and those ads run 100 times a day.
At least.
I mean,
you might be underselling it.
Might be. And so Muse and Paulie and I, we talk about it all the time, like about Gabrielle, because it's just the ad we hear All day. It's just those Louisiana propane dealers, man, they made themselves a significant buy. And we're very grateful for it. I love propane. I love Louisiana companies. I do love propane. I love propane.
Okay.
Propane allows you to.
I do too, man.
Hey,
Look, I do too.
You love to boil crawfish, Muse.
I do.
What do you use whenever you boiling crawfish?
Propane.
You're using propane.
Yeah.
You're damn right. I love propane. It's a great fuel source. It's fuel for our future. Anyway, so we have been so excited about getting to meet Gabrielle. Hopefully that we would win an award. We did. Okay, so AFR won Best Sports Show, and so I got to go up on stage. And Paulie wasn't with us today because if you missed this at the beginning of the show, Paul and his wife Sam had baby O'Neal number 2. So Opal is 3 and baby boy O'Neal. They haven't decided on a name yet. Still strongly in consideration as Matthew George Moscona O'Neal.
I don't think it is.
That's very much it. It's in the running. It's in the final 2,000. But anyway, so Paul wasn't with us, but so Muse and I went on stage to accept the award for AFR, and they play like a video, right? Like a 30-second something video that they play whenever for the winners when they walk up. And part of the video is the open of the show. So I'm Matt, Paul O'Neal, Muso. And so as I'm walking up on stage was the Barbie Girl part, and Gabrielle was kind of jamming a little bit to Barbie Girl.
Dig that.
And so then I told her, I said, hey, because you're playing the thing on the screen, you got to take a picture and whatever, all this stuff. And so I told her, I said, hey, I got to let you know. Like, we are huge fans of yours because your propane spots run 100 times a day on our station. And so, like, we love you. You're, like, famous in our studio. And she goes, you have no idea how many times I had to record those. It was so good. So anyway, shout out Gabrielle McLeod. That's our girl.
It is our girl.
Gabrielle McLeod's our girl. We're fired up for it. So it was a great day at LAB. So because we were at LAB and that was at lunchtime, and then went straight from there to here and been on air, I've not seen a minute, literally not a minute of basketball today. So that's why I figured let's call someone who might not have seen a minute because he doesn't know anything. Chris Marler to tell us what we might have missed. Marler, how are you, dude?
I heard everything you said.
I know.
Matt,
I know.
off.
That was the point. That was the point.
Big propane guy, Matt Moscona. Happy to be on the show.
Tell me you don't love propane. Tell me you don't love propane.
I want you to think about this for a second. Do you think in my small little brain I know what propane does at all besides I don't provide gas to a grill?
Okay, what about propane heaters, like outdoor space heaters that are run by propane? You know those sort of like wheel space heaters that they have outdoors in places?
We have those in Louisiana. It's hot as blank here all the time.
Not all the time. I mean, there's times when it gets cold. And so if you want to sit outside, what do you have? There's space heaters run by propane.
You convinced me. I'm a big propane guy now.
Propane tanks. And most importantly, when you're tailgating and you want to cook and you want to have a burner, whether you're doing gumbo or jambalaya or etouffee or red beans or boiling crawfish, the thing that is fueling your burner to cook at the tailgates is a propane tank. So yes.
I gotta say, Gabrielle did the ad read way better. That was way better.
Yeah, and she's also gorgeous. She's Miss Louisiana. Of course she does it way better. I'd rather listen to her talk about it. I'm just saying, if you're trying to challenge whether or not I'm being sincere about how much I enjoy propane, I will push back. We need propane. It's wonderful. It's fuel for our future.
I would never challenge your love of propane, Matt. I will tell you what you missed today, though, in basketball. And I'm just going to explain this.
Wait. Like, you don't get to transition the topic. That's my job. It's my show.
Good.
No, you were trying to transition. I wasn't ready to go yet. I was still talking about propane. And then you tried to transition. Okay. You try to lead. You don't lead. This is not, as Muse knows, this is not a radioocracy. This is a radiotatorship. Thank you. Got it. Nailed it.
Bang.
I know. Okay, all right, let's talk basketball. So you were sort of commiserating earlier that your picks weren't doing well, but the only one you've missed on so far is your money line pick of Ohio State. You hit on South Florida plus 5.5, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go. So what are you upset about?
So first off, the South Florida pick. They were down 23, and they came roaring back.
Love to see
to
it.
only lose by 4. So I needed that one. In terms of games today, the games have been fantastic so far. What you did miss, I have to tell you this, what you did miss are just most beautiful, quintessential March moments that I feel like we get every year. But this year, High Point beats Wisconsin, and they do so behind some white kid. I don't remember his name. It's like Colton or Graham or something stupid like that. He has not hit a 2-point shot all season long. He had only made 3-pointers the entire year. He had 68 made 3-pointers. They're down 1. He leaks out behind everyone on the defense after a rebound. His first 2-point attempt of the year. Well, by the way, he's wearing number 99, which is ridiculous. Gets behind everyone on the defense, lays in his first 2-pointer of the year for the game-winning shot. High Point knocks off Wisconsin. So that was
Caught everybody off
the
guard.
highlight of the early part.
His name is Chase Johnston.
That tracks.
It was
Yeah.
close.
I don't feel like I was that far off.
No, you weren't. It even started with a C. You said Colton. It was Chase Johnston. There was a ton in there too.
There you go.
Okay, talk to me about the SEC teams that have already played today. Well, I guess namely Vanderbilt would be the only one, right? That's finished.
Yeah, Vandy, they had a back and forth in the East. A really good game. I don't think it ever got outside of a 10-point margin for either team. So that was a really good game. I mean, Vandy kind of disrespected after beating Florida by 19. Not only did they get a 5 seed and they move up on the 4 seed line, and they were on the 5 seed line for at least a month and a half, it felt like, on Joe Lunardi's bracketology projections. They beat Florida by 19. Not only did they not move up off the 5 seed line, they get put in the same region as Florida as well. So that was a good win for them. The big one tonight, you have Georgia as an 8 seed playing St. Louis. That's my lock of the day, is Georgia winning that game. You and me, we always talk about Torvik rankings.
If we could be honest though, your pick was Georgia money line, so you're not messing with the spread. So your picks, a lot of your picks today, I texted you this. You're dealing with a lot of juice here on some of these picks today, going with money line plays instead of against the spread.
Big juice guy. You like propane? I love juice. So,
I mean, except you're in from a pure betting perspective, you're increasing risk for less payout.
Yeah, I didn't say it was financially smart. I'm just telling you I'm trying to win picks.
Okay. Well, then I just show them. Let's see. Michigan. I'm taking my lock of the day is Michigan on the money line. Michigan minus 30.5. There you go. A win.
They're a minus 125, I think, or minus 130 pick on the money line right now. But also, when you look at Georgia and what there's 2 teams tonight from the SEC specifically that should be very exciting. And the 2 picks I like the most, Georgia money line. They're playing a St. Louis team that is ranked like 151 in the Torvik rankings. Do not ask me what the Torvik rankings mean. It's a lot like bereavement. I have no idea what that means. I do know that people that do know what it means tell me it's good for Georgia. One of the best offenses in the country. I think they finished second in points per game this year, right behind Alabama and right ahead of A&M. A&M is playing St. Mary's. They're an underdog, which I'm not going to touch because they've only beaten 2 tournament teams since January 21st. But that's a team that averages around 88 points a game, finished 3rd in the country in scoring offense, and their team total for tonight is only 71.5. So that feels like anytime you're getting a team that routinely puts up, 87, 88 points a game, you're getting them for 16 points less in their team total. I'm going to take that as well.
Okay. So A&M's team total, I played, by the way, it had bumped up to 72.5 earlier. I did buy the point down to 71.5. I got burned on that yesterday, but so we'll see. But anyway, Marler's picks are up at LouisianaSports.net if you want them for free. And then the other one is, Texas BYU. You got a thought on that one tonight?
I just love the kid from BYU. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. I feel like this is the time of year, though.
Taysom Hill?
Divanasa. How do you say it, Musso?
Taysom Hill.
It is Taysom Hill. It is Taysom Hill. We've gotten really big into secret lives of Mormon wives in this house, so I'm going to take BYU tonight. They're playing Texas team. I think they're a 2-point favorite, so of course I took the money line. But they also have one of the best players, one of the best freshmen in the country, number 1 overall recruit in the country last year. I think he took a $5 million NIL deal to go to BYU. I just trust them more than I trust a Texas team that really, really kind of floundered down the final stretch of the season. They got a big win in the against NC State in the play-in game, but they have not been good to close out the year.
I have Texas outright. We'll go
Okay,
ahead.
great.
We'll see how it goes. Chris Marler at Vern. What are you again? Vern what? _ Vern?
Vern_Funquist.
At Vern_Funquist. You can follow him there. Go read his stuff at LouisianaSports.net. And if you like to make bad bets with tons of juice, then go play all of his picks as well.
We're 10-3 in the lock of the year, Matt.
I love that. That's great. Yeah, and like I said, my lock of the day is Michigan -30.5 just put on the money line. Michigan. I don't care if they're 30.5 point favorites. Michigan on the money line. My lock of the day. We'll see if it hits.
Seems different than what I did, but that's fine.
No, it's pretty much the same thing. You just took a favorite and took them on the money line instead of laying the points because you're scared of losing. But that's okay. And now because you made the inside joke about bereavement, I have to explain to our audience what that's about, because number one rule in radio, or one rule in radio, is you should never have an inside joke from your audience. So I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to go explain that you don't know what bereavement means.
I know what it means now, but I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, we'll see you later. That's Chris Marler. Yeah, so Marler, real quick, we're brought to you by Parish Restoration. I'll explain the bereavement thing in a second. Parish Restoration, but you know what bereavement is, because humans know what that is. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. Kill mold, remove odor. Look, we live in the mold capital of the world, and it doesn't matter if it's your home, if it's an office building, if you've had water intrusion, think you might have mold. And Parish Restoration can come, spray, knock out the mold. It's cost-effective, it's efficient, it's effective. Check it out, parishrestoration.com. Giant commercial buildings, your home, apartment complexes. If you got mold or think you might, let Parish come by, and they'll give you that free quote. They'll inspect. They'll let you know what it'll take to knock out that mold and sanitize your space. It's parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. So Marler submitted a time off request on a Sunday, and he put it under bereavement request. So first of all, like, Sunday's a day off, so you don't have to put in a time off request on Sunday. You're off. So that was not necessary. And then I called him. I'm like, man, is everything okay? Because he put in a bereavement request. And he's like, yeah, to be honest, I didn't know what that was. I said, Chris, that's people are bereaved or mourning. You put in a bereavement request if you're mourning a death and you need time off to go to a funeral or something like that. So he felt pretty silly. But that's Marler. He's a 37-year-old man, 38-year-old. Is Marler 37 or 38? Do we know? 37?
I'm not sure. I'm not positive yet.
He's a man in his late 30s who didn't know what bereavement was. But I'm sure we'll figure it out. Life is an education. We just keep learning as we go along. Hopefully I educated someone else today about bereavement. Probably a child, because most adult people know what that is. All right, we are late. Eddie Radosevich next, AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, Seaganeer Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local. Y'all just plant something. Was emailing earlier this week with Miss Teresa. She sent me the weekly ad that they're going to be running for over Clegg's. And the bottom line is I could read a whole bunch of different types of flowers. I could read their specials. I could tell you about Johnny Naylor seeds. The bottom line is the weather's beautiful. Go plant something. Go to Clegg's. Buy some flowers, some plants, trees, shrubs, whatever. Johnny Naylor seeds. Plant your vegetable garden. Just get your hands in the dirt. Great family activity. You want to do something fun with the kids, plant some flowers, plant some seeds, watch that garden grow. Do it together as a family. Get some natural vitamin D, getting that sunlight, grounding, earthing, putting your hands actually in the dirt, something we don't do in this concrete jungle in which we live. Just get by Clegg's Nursery. Bypass the big box store and buy local at Clegg's Nursery.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve.
The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgout.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Good offense, a lot of returning players from last year, so very familiar. Leadoff guy, senior, really good college player. Willits, shortstop. Old players, played a lot of college baseball. They have a definite style in how they play, and you have to dictate how the game's played against them, or they can really get going with some good momentum on offense. So it becomes really important.
Tonight, game one, LSU, Oklahoma over at the box. Sooners ranked number 7 in the country. Eddie Radosevich, Sooner Scoop, part of On 3, good enough to join us. How are you, dude?
What's going on? How are you?
Candidly, as far as baseball goes, been better. It hasn't been the most awesome start ever for LSU to a season, but this is a really big weekend. So the Sooners are ranked 7th, man. How good are they?
I think we're about to find out. It's been a really good start to the season. Talking to Kiffin at the beginning of the year, he was pretty optimistic just in terms of what they brought back from last year's team. He really liked the freshman group that came in, and they played quite a bit. So the depth-wise, it's probably better than it has been in the last couple of seasons. Then they went down to the Shriners and played really well. Scored 33 runs. The pitching was fantastic. So it's kind of been really good from there. They just finished up a 17-game homestand, so they haven't played out of town too much, and it's been really good. They've gotten really good pitching. They were able to open last week, taking 2-3 from Texas A&M. So I think over the next couple of weeks, we're going to really kind of find out, is this team a serious player to maybe compete for the SEC or, certainly a top 8 seed and get, super regional, that kind of stuff. So it's going to be kind of interesting. Obviously, catching LSU at this point, it's kind of, I think, a lot of people wondering if this is a good time to catch LSU or if they're going to break out or when they're going to break out. It's only a matter of time. And then they go down to Austin next week. So next 2 weeks are really big for Skip Johnson's crew.
Yeah, man, Oklahoma's only played one true road game this year and lost it. I'm curious your thought on Cam Johnson, who people here know really well, Eddie. I mean, he was the highest ranked signee ever to show up on campus at LSU, and he just couldn't throw strikes. And he seemed to remedy that until last week when he walked 7 in 2 1/3. So what's the real version of Cam Johnson we expect to see tonight?
I think it's somewhere in between of what you just described, because if you would have talked to me a week ago going into the Texas A&M series, he looked like one of the better pitchers in the country. Just he got into jams, but he was able to work himself out of it. Not finding the strike zone hadn't been a problem, and then last week he goes 2 1/3 and walks the season high 7. So I think this is a kind of a big spot, and obviously with his connection back into Baton Rouge, having gone there, I think that there's a lot of eyeballs on what Cam does tonight, and kind of setting the tone for what he's going to be moving forward. They were able to get away with it last Friday, obviously coming back and beating Texas A&M. But it was kind of surprising because it was out of character for what we had seen through his first 4 starts, in which he had struck out, I think, 7 or more in all 4 of those starts. He only had 2 last week against A&M. So I talked to Skip this morning. He comes on my radio show, and I kind of asked him, are you kind of not nervous necessarily, but are you intrigued to know what you're going to get out of Cam tonight in the setting? And he said he needs to be himself. I think that they felt like he had made some big strides from a middle perspective last year when he came into games. It did not go well. It was a lot of, what he had kind of done in the limited time as a freshman at LSU. So they thought he had kind of turned the corner. I think last week was a little bit of a step back, and it's going to be really kind of, I guess, interesting, scary / fun to see how he responds tonight at the box.
Radio show, of course, is on the Franchise on 107.7 there. And Sooner Scoop is where you can find Eddie's work. Get him on Twitter at Eddie_Rado, R-A-D-O. Okay, 17-4, obviously a team that hasn't faced a ton of adversity. They lost. The one road loss was 2 nights ago in Hammond against Southeastern. Sure. They haven't faced a ton of adversity yet, but when they have struggled or things haven't gone well, what have been those things?
I would say probably from a pitching standpoint, walks. I think they could be better defensively. They've had a couple of Tuesday night, you had a kid not cover first base with 2 outs. It ended up leading to the first run of the game. Little stuff like that. But obviously, you do something like that in a conference game, it could end up costing you not only the game but a series. So they've been sound defensively, pretty fast out in the outfield. I would say the offense has been better than expected. They've gotten great contribution out of 2 JUCO guys that they brought in that'll be in the lineup all weekend, in Dayton LeChance and Brendan Brock. They've been fantastic. They need to get Jason Walk going, who's kind of their leadoff hitter. He's been moved all the way down to the 9 hole. So they get on base a lot. I mean, they're top 25 right now in a lot of offensive categories, and it's because they are able to, take their pitches and earn walks and get on base and then play a little bit of small ball and use the speed that they have, kind of the chaos that they got, I guess, kind of became to know as when they got to Omaha in 2022. So it's been relatively pretty smooth ride, all things considered. Had Arizona State into town, gave up a bunch of runs in the first game, and they came back and scored a bunch of runs in the second game. So, again, I think that there's a lot of questions about this team, but to date, through the first 21 games, they look like a team that has kind of turned the corner and have a lot of guys contributing.
How's the bullpen?
Pretty good, and this is something that Skip kind of takes pride in, just in that they've probably pitched 8 or 9 guys that have gotten a good line share of the innings. All of them have pretty good stuff, 95. Upper 90s for some of them. They're going to lean on guys like Jackson Cleveland on the back end to transfer in from Miami. He's kind of turned into a little bit of their closer, sharing those duties with Jason Bowden, who's now a third-year guy in Norman. And they put a lot of, they have a lot of confidence, I guess you could say, in Gavin Jones as well from the left side. So they feel like this is probably the deepest bullpen that Skip Johnson's had. Certainly at Oklahoma, and maybe even going back into some of those years with Texas. So they like a lot of the guys that they have. They just haven't pitched a whole lot in high leverage situations. And, of course, that's going to be kind of interesting to watch as they move into this weekend and then on into the rest of the conference schedule.
Eddie, as I look at the series, it looks like Oklahoma has a pretty definitive advantage on the mound in Game 2, probably an advantage for LSU in Game 3 with Schmidt. This game tonight feels like the one that could very well swing it. What is the blueprint for Skip Johnson if his team comes in here and gets a win not only tonight but ends up winning the series?
Yeah, I'd say probably get phenomenal starting pitching. Obviously that's putting a lot on the plate of Cam Johnson. LJ Mercurius, coming in from UNLV, has quietly kind of been the show pony, I guess, if you will, of the weekend rotation. Skip's having to replace all 3 starters for the 4th time in 9 years, 10 years. So it's gone really well. I think you would start there. And then I think that you would also probably see them be able to draw a lot of walks and move the bases, move them around. That's something that they've kind of taken pride in. They have a lot of trust with, a number of their bats that have really kind of responded and been able to produce with 2 outs, especially in 2 strikes. So that's something that I would probably watch for. I know that Jay Johnson has talked about this week starting and getting good starts against Oklahoma and not letting them dictate things, and that's perfectly said. I think that Oklahoma likes being able to get base runners on, and Reggie Willis likes to being able to run some of these guys that have a lot of speed. So that would probably be kind of in a short summary, long summary of what they would need to do. It kind of feels like they're due for not necessarily a letdown, but certainly having to respond to adversity and kind of seeing how they respond when they're backed up against the wall in a hostile environment.
Tigers and Sooners tonight, game 1, 7 o'clock on ESPNU. You can hear it on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. He's Eddie Radosevich. Get him at Eddie_Rado if you want to give him a follow. All right, dude, we appreciate it, man. Talk soon.
You bet. Anytime.
All right, be well. It's after further review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020. You want to see 2020, call 924-2020. You know, if you're sitting out there in right field at the box, you want to see balls and strikes, you're out there yelling from the right field bleachers because you think that pitch missed. I said that pissed. That pitch missed. Could have been worse. I mean, it could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse. You avoided, I don't want to say disaster, but that could have been a lot worse.
Piss is fine. I don't know what else could have done there. Pitch missed. What was the one? The bulging disc. Who's that? Was that who said the bulging disc? Who was the Sports Center anchor? Look it up. Look it up. I could see him. I can't remember his name. I don't think it was Ravitch. Was it Ravitch? Anyway, whatever. Bottom line is, you want to be able to say, hey, I can see that pitch from right field. You can have superhuman vision. Thanks to Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com. Who was it?
Steve Levy.
Levy!
It was Levy, man. Love Levy.
Levy! The bulging disc. Although he didn't say disc.
No, you can imagine what he said there.
He left the S out. Or he flipped the S and the C.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Woo! Some people say it's bulging.
It's bulky, but I consider it carry on.
We're gonna go. I'm gonna go. We're gonna stop now. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go. We are presented by Decision Critical. Man, I had to go pick up Erica today from work. She was throwing up. And I'm literally texting with Shelly over Decision Critical to try to get Erica an IV tonight. That's how awesome they are. Like, it's, when I tell you it's healthcare for your lifestyle, I mean, they have nurses on call 24/7, and they have packages that they can customize to whatever you need. If you need an IV, they'll come to your home, your office, give you an IV. Maybe you're a man on HRT, they do therapeutic phlebotomy, so you need to do your blood draw, they can come do that for you. Maybe you're caring for an elderly parent and you need someone to stay with and help care for your elderly parent while you work or go about your life. Decision Critical's nurses can do that. It's customizable for whatever you need. DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com. Okay, quick break. I don't know that we're going to have the lineup posted before we get out of here. Usually I do it about an hour before first pitch, 7 o'clock first pitch. Probably won't have it. But we'll give you a few thoughts on LSU and Oklahoma as we roll along here. Just a gigantic weekend for LSU baseball. We'll get to that next at AFR.
After further review.
If you need to hire, you need Glow Resources. I mean, it's that simple. If you need permanent solutions, you need Glow Resources. They are not a temp staffing agency. At Glow Resources, their job, their objective is to help you, the business owner, the ops manager, the VP, the HR manager. If you're the person in charge of hiring in your business, no matter what scale, size business you are, what type of business you are, Glow Resources helps you find those permanent solutions. They conduct about 50 interviews a day on average. So over the course of a year, it's about 15,000 interviews. You can imagine that at Glow Resources, they've gotten really good at learning which questions to ask to know how to limit objections and find the right person for the job that you need to fill. Check them out at glowresources.com. You need to hire, you need Glow Resources. glowresources.com.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit, nor by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Hi, this is Beth Tarina. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Everything you need for a stunning garden is at the Plant Barn in Baton Rouge. From trees and shrubs to plants and pottery, the Plant Barn has it all at great prices.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Shout out to Ray, who said propane heaters can be installed in a residential house where natural gas is not available.
Didn't know that.
Propane guy.
Hey, man.
I'm big natural gas in the house.
Hell yeah.
Natural gas guy.
Odorless, though, so you got to be careful of that natural gas.
Shout out to our friends at Woodside Energy.
Hey.
Great partner of LSU Athletics. Huge for Louisiana. But propane, great too. Fuel for our future. Our girl Gabrielle. I think we should get Gabrielle on the show.
I think we should too.
I think we got to get Gabrielle here. Since now we have, we've broached the it's just us in studio listening to and seeing her commercials. Now we've met her and told her, so she gets she's in on it now.
Yeah.
I think she'd be very receptive to that.
I think so too. Just have her come on. We can guest pick her.
You gotta wait till the fall for that.
That's
so
true.
I don't know. I was thinking like maybe we have her come and do the well now crawfish boil.
Crawfish boil.
I mean, delicious seafood boils.
Shrimp, crawfish.
Time for another delicious seafood boil.
Get some crabs in there, man.
Maybe you're going out to the box this weekend. Gonna be boiling some crawfish or something before the game.
It's one of the best things about baseball season. Crawfish boil tailgate.
It's just the spring. The spring here is great.
Mm-hmm.
When the weather's great, you get baseball and crawfish boils and cold Bud Lights and just awesome. I love the spring. Wearing the Green Parade last weekend.
So good.
Spring's great. So much going on in the sports world. Big weekend for the Tigers. We talk about it often. And I'm not ever going to be someone that 3 games into a conference season for baseball is just going to melt. Or rarely are you ever going to hear me melt after a single baseball game. It's why you play 56. You have the larger sample because there is so much variance. I mean, games literally change based on who the next day's starting pitcher is. Same teams, you change that one variable, and it's just a dramatically different outcome, result, process, all of it. And I love that about baseball. But this is a series that feels really significant for LSU just as you start to look ahead because it felt like you had a real opportunity to get off to a good start against Vanderbilt. Listen, it's hard to win in the SEC, harder to win on the road in the SEC. Vanderbilt had struggled, so it felt like that was a road series you might be able to go get. And despite how poorly you played, as we've said, you were a pitch away from winning that series if Gavin Guidry closes that, regardless of how it all played out. LSU got down 10-4. They stormed back. A lot of that was charity from Vanderbilt. It's because Vanderbilt's not very good. So you had your opportunity, and you blew it. You blew a save. But you're right there. But salvaging Game 3 was huge, so you're at 1-2. And the next 2 weekends are at home. And you're going against really good teams. I mean, Oklahoma's ranked 7th in the country. They took 2 out of 3 from A&M. Kentucky this past weekend swept Alabama. So you got 2 good teams coming in, but it's at home. And after that, 3 of your next 4 are on the road. You're at Tennessee, you're at Ole Miss, you're home against A&M, and then you're at Mississippi State. So that is the most brutal gauntlet of your season. Those 12 games, that 4-week stretch. And so if you lose this home series, it puts you in a situation where, like, let's say you get 1 this weekend, where to get your head above water in league play going into that stretch, you'd have to sweep Kentucky, which I don't know that that's realistic to expect this LSU team right now to sweep anybody. It's not to say you can't. Of course you can. I mean, Missouri last year started 0-24 in the conference and then swept Texas A&M and then got swept, by the way, to finish 3-27. It's baseball. It's weird. Like that sort of thing can happen in this sport. So it's we talked about it just a bit ago with Eddie Radosevich, and really in this weekend, there are very clear advantages. Game 2 with LJ Mercurius starting for Oklahoma is a real advantage for OU. He's got a sub-2 ERA. He's got 41 strikeouts in 28 1/3 innings pitched. That's a real advantage over Cooper Moore. Game 3, if Schmidt is good, and by the way, can we play, wait, real quick, let me finish that thought. We'll play Jay's update on William Schmidt. Schmidt gives you a real advantage in Game 3 over Cord Razier. So he's a freshman lefty. He's got an ERA almost at 5. So you're talking about what you typically see in a Sunday in the SEC. So, Oklahoma has an advantage on the mound game 2. You have an advantage on the mound game 3. This becomes the swing game. So what Cam Johnson do we see? My suspicion is we see the Cam Johnson that we saw last week against A&M and that we saw the first 2 seasons of his career. And I wish Cam Johnson all the best in the world. I wouldn't wish anything negative on any young person. He passed on a lot of money to come to school and wanted to play at LSU, and it just didn't work out for him the first year, in large part because he really struggled with the expectation. And that doesn't change. If anything, I would say this weekend it ratchets up, because 2 years ago when he was pitching here, the 10,000 people in the stands were cheering for him. Now he's taking the ball with 10,000 fans cheering against him. He was really good in the pre-conference this year, but when he had to toe the rubber in a conference game, he reverted to the guy who went 2 1/3 and walked 7. So I don't think it's going to go great for Cam Johnson tonight. Maybe that's wishful thinking for me, but look, he's a lefty who throws upper 90s, and there was a reason he was with the number 11 overall prospect in that draft class a couple of years, or in that prospect class a couple of years ago. But I'm looking at the larger sample size of his career and knowing that you're talking to scouts, then when he was at IMG Academy, he was throwing in front of 50 people. And when he was throwing, intra-squads in the fall and there's nobody in the stands, he's really good. When he had to go do it in a game and the lights shone bright and there was a TV audience and there was someone wearing a different uniform and there's 10,000 people, all those variables compounded, and he struggled with command. And I think that showed up again last week. I think him going to Oklahoma was probably a good thing for him. There's just not as much pressure pitching at Oklahoma as there is at LSU, so it allowed him to mature. The stuff is undeniable, man. There's a reason he was as highly regarded as he was. He's 6'6" and throws 100 from the left side. I mean, he's a freak. But it doesn't matter how hard you throw if you don't know where it's going. So really the onus, I think, is on LSU's hitters to be patient tonight and make him throw that ball over. Make him prove he can throw the ball over the plate. We did mention William Schmidt. Here was Jay Johnson with the update Wednesday.
How's William feeling? How's his back? Good. Yeah, great. Moving around, hopping around yesterday. He's pitching on Saturday. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, yeah, Saturday.
Do you think he's as great as Gavin Guidry was last year in the second week of the season when he was going to be back next week? Do you think he's about that good? You think he's about that great?
I think he's a little
Hopping
better.
Around?
I think he's a little better. Yeah, a little better.
Hopping around?
Hopping around, though. Got some energy. It's all the Smoothie King.
Gotta be.
It's gotta be.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
All right, we're brought to you by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. I talked to Jay about that. Man, we just crush you all the time. I don't know that he cares, but it is funny. Again, he can be as secretive as he wants. It's his program, and he can do whatever he wants. They do have to do an injury report, right, per the league mandate, but he is very secretive with injuries, and every coach can handle it however they want. But when you approach it that way, then you don't earn the benefit of the doubt. Like I am now skeptical of what you're saying, and rightfully so. So we'll see how good Schmidt actually is on Saturday when they get out there. All right, Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, they do shutters too. It's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. We're getting into those warm weather months now, y'all. And before you know it, we'll have triple-digit heat indexes every day. And before we get there, call Relief Windows, have them come. They'll measure twice, install once, every window, custom made for the exact specification of your home, reduces the air leaks. By the way, lifetime transferable warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage, and a lifetime warranty on wood windows. If your HOA requires wood windows, install these once and you're done forever. It's Relief Windows. Windows, door, siding, they do shutters and shades too. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Okay, y'all, final break of the show. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks. Kind of get a little bit of a wraparound of the day in the NCAA tournament and what we could expect for tomorrow. Picks are up over at LouisianaSports.net if you want to get them. We'll wrap up the show with Otter Locks next here on AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing.
AFR.
If you're thinking about selling your home, man, don't waste time. Sell your home fast for the most amount of money. To do that, you need Darren James. Not my opinion, that's a fact. Darren James on the Wall Street Journal is listed the top 1% of realtors in America, the number one realtor in Louisiana on the volume side, meaning there is no realtor in Louisiana that got to a closing table more than Darren James. That's a mouthful, y'all. You need to sell your home fast for the most amount of money. You need Darren James. It's proven. He's got the results. He's got the skins on the wall. He's got the people, the system, the processes, everything in place to get your home sold fast for the most amount of money. Agent225.com. Agent225.com. Log on right now. Agent225.com. They got the home value tool. Get an appraisal price using local market data of your home. It's a free tool. Agent225.com. Punch it in right now. Agent225.com. If you need to sell your home, you need Darren James.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
Trust isn't given. It's earned. Earned by showing up. Putting in the work. The hours that nobody sees. I didn't get here on my own. I trust my coaches to lead, my teammates to step up, and when the game is on the line, Our Lady of the Lake to keep me healthy and on the court. Because it takes a champion to care for a champion. I trust the Lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like...
You know, there's a lot of reasons to do business with River Parish Contractors. When we talk about these industrial fabrication and construction companies, you have a lot of options. You know, with River Parish Contractors, because they fabricate and install, they fabricate in-house, they can meet your schedule. You see, there's nothing more important. You can have great pricing, but you have to be able to meet your client's schedule. And at River Parish Contractors, they'll guarantee an on-time delivery date. You see, they control it because they fabricate it themselves. And it's easier on the engineer and gives you a significant cost savings as well. It's River Parish Contractors. Go visit the shop. They're in Reserve. They like to say we're an hour from anywhere. From Chalmette to Baton Rouge, they'll do work for you. It's River Parish Contractors. Check them out, rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
All right, down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Thursday edition of AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Full night of basketball. Looking forward to it. Jimmy will be here in just a quick second. Chris Marler was here earlier this hour. He's got his picks up at LouisianaSports.net. He and Hester both putting up their picks there if you want to check them out. That is Chris Marler, by the way, the proud new owner of a Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport from South Point Volkswagen. We probably actually should have talked about that with Marler. I could have ribbed him a little. He literally got the same vehicle I have. Okay. We got Jimmy? Okay, hit it. Our locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, what up?
What's up, baby? We're over at Roca just having a good time, taking a break from Bally's downtown. So, look, North Carolina 2-0 right now, so you can still get in on VCU. Okay. It's one of my favorite plays of the day. Of course, Caleb Wilson out, so VCU plus a 2.5, might be 3.5 right now. So 11-6 over a 6.
VCU is plus 5.5 right now.
Well, you know, we say. So
don't be a moron. Bet moron.
All right, Howard. Howard looked good, man. Howard is good. Marshall put us on it a little bit. I know I went to UMBC. I got my hand burned on that one, but I think Howard plus a 30.5 against Michigan. Don't go crazy on those big lines, but still, Howard plus 30.5. BYU, what you showing right now? 2.5, 3?
2.5.
Texas, one of my favorite players.
1 minute
Texas.
remaining.
I love the 11 seed that wins the game, heads into rhythm a little bit more. Let's get through these quick. I hear the time. St. Mary's, -3 or so.
2.5,
yeah. Along with Texas, yeah, better. You know, Georgia, I'll give Humans his one pick. That's one he kind of stepped out on today's show. So we're going to go with that one. And then we're going to go with Gonzaga, laying a big points there. I like Gonzaga to make a run in this tournament.
All right, Gonzaga laying 20.5. So VCU in-game it. Howard, Texas, St. Mary's, Georgia, Gonzaga. Those are your plays tonight. Lock of the week. Friday, not at Ruffino's tomorrow. Y'all at Bally's again, yeah?
Yes, indeed.
All right, get on by, see Jimmy and Charlie over at Bally's. Thank you, Otter. We appreciate it. Okay, we're getting on down the road. Muse, Cassie, thanks. Y'all have a great night. Tiger baseball coming up in an hour. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com, Arco.com. Really easy. When we talk about Arco Power Systems, we are talking about industrial Generac generator power. It's simple. You have home standby generators, right, for your home? Well, this is a generator for your business, your commercial facility, your industrial facility, municipalities, Arco Power Systems. And, man, the way they have scaled is so impressive. Getting to learn more about my friends over at Arco Power Systems. Incredible things like during storms, the National Guard will literally come and take their workers, put them on Black Hawk helicopters, and bring them into disaster areas to help get power back on in place and get these generators up and running. Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com, north to Little Rock, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio, anywhere in that footprint. It's Arco.com.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
At Parrish, we bring the same commitment to your home that champions bring to the game.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
Parish Construction and Roofing. ParishRoof.com.
I have no doubt that Our Lady of the Lake will keep me healthy. They make sure to do whatever they can in their power to make sure that we are 100%. They're constantly giving us resources, giving us advice on what to do. I think that just really helps us be the best players that we can be.